something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor.
Free happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They're not just window and door experts. They're experts at taking care of you and your home. At Pella, they find the products that meet your needs, and their experts install them. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Discover why Pella is a trusted choice for homeowners everywhere. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. That's Pella.com/Eisen.
This is the Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Basketball Tournament Final on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
I'm Christine Lisi. Now it's time for our game flow, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. A Progressive ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. See if you could save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or Progressive.com. Arizona coming off what was probably the game of the year in the win over Iowa State in the semis. Solid first half against Houston in the Phillips 66 Big 12 Basketball Tournament Final, with last night's hero, Jaden Bradley, helping lead the way.
Awaka powering away with the rebound. Other end, looking to run a bit. Bradley up and under. Oh, razzle-dazzle from Jaden Bradley to lay it in with the right hand.
He looked like a running back right there. He took the ball right into the heart of the defender's chest, and then little Euro stepped by him, laid it softly up off the glass.
Braden Burries bounced back for the Wildcats after a bit of an off night last night in the semis.
Cole Pete, little stutter step up top. Hands it off to Burries, trapped for a moment. Parchenko, a pass to the other side, kicks it back out. Now Burries a three, straight on, and he does just that.
And he needed that. He was been slumping in the last two games, but great kick out, inside out, Pete to Burries, the two freshmen, outstanding communication.
Burry scored the final 10 points of the first half for Arizona, which took an 8-point lead into the break. Cougars, though, wouldn't go quietly.
Ivan Parchenkov running the baseline, inbounds it, gets it to Bradley, who'll take it to the other end, but he missed the layup. Fleming's the rebound, bringing it back down the floor for Houston. Down 6, Milos is in, step back 3, good, right wing, and Houston within 3 with 53.8 left.
Arizona clinging to a 3-point lead would hit a pair of free throws late, won at 79-74 over Houston. Koa Pete, Braden Burries, a combined 42 points in that victory. On the Champ Week scoreboard, shocker in the SEC semis, Vandy knocked out defending national champ Florida 91-74. In the latest from ESPN bracketologist Joe Lunardi, he still projects the Gators as the final number 1 seed for the NCAA tournament. Arkansas won an overtime thriller against Ole Miss, 93-90, 29 for Malik Thomas. Razorbacks Commodores clash in the SEC final tomorrow. Big Ten semifinals. Conference Player of the Year, Yaxel Lendeborg, got off to a slow start against Wisconsin, but didn't really matter when he hit a tie-breaking 3 with 0.4 of a second left. Wolverines got by the Badgers 68-65. Michigan takes on Purdue in the conference final. Boilermakers took care of UCLA 73-68. In the Big East final, St. John's is having its way with UConn. Red Storm leading the Huskies 69-49, 3:20 to go in the second half. In the SWAC final, Prairie View A&M up 47-28 on Southern, 18 minutes remaining in the second half. The MAC, that is with 1A final, it is Toledo leading Akron 35-25 in the first half. A couple of automatic bids to the NCAA tournament doled out already. UMBC beat Vermont 74-59 in the America East final. First time the Retrievers are back in the Big Dance since 2018. That was the year they became the first 16 seed to beat a 1 seed when they upset Virginia. Howard's got its dancing shoes on, defeated North Carolina Central 70-63 in the MEAC tournament final. Utah State won the Mountain West final 73-62 over San Diego State and is in the Big Dance too. Coming up next on many of our ESPN radio affiliates, Duke and Virginia in the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Championship Final. For producer Ryan Matlack, technical director Josiah Howard, and associate producer Javon Cutler, I'm Christine Lisi. Thanks for listening to the Phillips Big 12 Basketball Tournament on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
If you work in university maintenance, Grainger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Grainger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more, and all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRANGER, visit Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Smalls here. Look, I get it. GLP-1 weight loss shots are popular. They're everywhere. But not everyone is thrilled about weekly injections. So what if your GLP-1 was as easy to take as a mint? That's why I want you to know about compounded tirzepatide. It's a mint-flavored tablet you simply let dissolve under your tongue. No needles. It's designed to help curb appetite and reduce cravings, even sweets and carbs, which are my personal enemies. And when hunger's under control, it's easier to eat less. Stay away from the junk foods that trip you up and tackle your weight loss goals head on. And this is important. The compounded tirzepatide is recommended by the medical board of the wellness companies, the doctors I trust. Look, if you're serious about getting your weight under control and weekly shots aren't your thing, I strongly encourage you to look into tirzepatide. Getting started is fast with an easy online physician consultation. Imagine discovering a no-needle option that fits your needs. Go to noneedles.com/smalls, promo code SMALLS to save $50. That's noneedles.com/smalls, promo code SMALLS to save $50.
Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Running a business teaches you one thing fast. The biggest losses are rarely loud. They're quiet. It's a missed call or a follow-up that never happens. And when customers can't reach you, they move on. That's why growing businesses choose Quo, the modern business phone system. With one shared number and every conversation in one place, nothing slips through the cracks. Get started free and get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN. That's QUO.com/ESPN. Quo, better customer experiences and no more silent costs slowing your growth.
Harry Douglas here. I don't wait for birthdays to celebrate. I grab Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes like rich vanilla birthday cake with buttery funfetti goodness. Seriously, it's unapologetically extra in the best way, and it's sugar-free. So I get all that cake flavor without the guilt. It's tiny, portable, and ready for whenever I need a quick boost. I keep one with me because you never know when you'll need a little party energy. The funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
Which teams are making moves and which teams need to just flat out move? Your Saturday means I'm locked in and ready for First Take right here, Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
NBA Monday on ESPN Radio. It's an Eastern Conference showdown.
Jump past the bank, Carroll. Wing left three. Got another one.
As the race to the postseason heats up, the Magic and Hawks are fighting to escape the play-in tournament as they go head-to-head in the ATL.
Johnson goes high and flies, and Jansen had one. Jalen Johnson.
The Magic at the Hawks. Coverage begins Monday at 6:30 Eastern, with tip-off at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Indeed. This is Freddie and Harry.
Gary in great state of Maine wants to weigh in on this.
I don't remember where Lamar Jackson has ever brought you good times. And don't tell me 2 MVPs. And this is the problem I have, listening, because you guys are so smart. You guys really are. I love listening to you. Love it. But wow, the Ravens? Y'all are nuts.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
He kept saying over and over again, just let's do what we do here. This is how we play this. And we'll see. So far, off to a good start.
Blue Devils have the ball out of the timeout. White jerseys that read DUKE in blue across the front. They operate in the front court right and turn it over. It was Malik Brown trying to underhand a pass to a cutting Caden Boozer. The pass went where Boozer did not. And so Virginia will take over here, 9-6 lead, 15:40 in the first half. A win for Virginia today would be their 4th ACC tournament title, their first since 2018 over North Carolina. That year when they earned the number 1 seed, got upset in the ACC tournament by the man who's now their head coach, Ryan Odom, when he was at UMBC. Ball out of bounds, far sideline, and Malik Thomas lost it for Virginia. So they reciprocate Duke's turnover and give the ball right back.
That is where Duke presents as great a challenge as anybody in the country. Their pressure, that's old school Mike Krzyzewski thinking. Their pressure on the point to the wing pass is as good, if not better, than anybody's in the country. And they really disrupt your offense by doing that.
It's Cameron Boozer, their leading scorer and forward, who brings the ball up the floor. So playing point forward here. Isaiah Evans got it, gave it inside. Boozer, one dribble, pivots, shot fakes once, twice, swatted away by Onyenso.
Onyenso wouldn't buy the fake.
He's one block away from tying Tim Duncan's ACC tournament record. And at the other end, Malik Brown with a left-handed rejection inside.
Well, they quickly look into that second row to see if it's a goaltend. And Yenso would not heed. What discipline to stay down on Boozer.
And then Malik Thomas went to the basket.
Block. I watched the replay. I don't think that's a goaltend.
Yeah, Malik Brown met it with his left hand. He jumped straight up. So they traded turnovers. They trade theatric blocked shots. Played exactly 5 minutes in the first half. Still a 9-6 Virginia lead over Duke. On the dribble, Chance Mallory. The freshman penetrates into the paint. Looks to distribute. Does to Tillis near side. And out to White with the free throw line extended. Brings his right-handed dribble top of the key, guarded by Cameron Boozer. Kick it right, Dallin Hall triple. Dances off the rim. Ball ping-pongs around. Jakari White straightaway three. Good! He was hitting shots from mid-court with ease before the game. And now a pass thrown all the way down the floor and out of bounds by Duke. It's going to stay back where it was inbounded because nobody touched it. Cameron Boozer was looking for Darren Harris 3/4 of the way down the floor, but Darren Harris wasn't looking for the ball, and Duke turns it over. Virginia will inbound left side.
This is uncharacteristic Duke stuff. And that's what kind of we were talking about from the other end. Virginia's saying, let's just do what we do. It's good enough. And Duke here, Cameron Boozer behind the back pass for a turnover. That one, they're not looking for home run passes very often.
12-6, Virginia doubling up Duke. 3 on the inbound. Chance Mallory went 360 around the rim. Came down to Cameron Boozer, who had 14 rebounds yesterday and 24 points. His brother Caden with the right elbow, gives it up, gets it back near side. Dribble handoff, Darren Harris. Takes 2 dribbles near the top of the key. Lobs it inside for Boozer, sprays it out. And the other Boozer brother, Caden, hits the three-pointer.
Yeah, that was great ball movement there. They forced Virginia to switch twice, hit it in the post, kicked it out, open 3.
12-9 Virginia. Dallin Hall with a shot fake from the near side. Takes his dribble into the lane, floats it outside, gets it back, top of the key. Dribbles between the legs. The BYU transfer playing point guard for Virginia. Has a ball screen right, takes it left now. Still top of the key. Steps into a three-pointer and airballs it out of bounds.
Not his thing. Not his thing right there. He's shaking his head like, yep, that's on me. Sometimes you just get a little over-eager. But that's not him playing to his strength.
The first word that would come to mind for that possession would be stagnation, but it wasn't. There were people coming to set ball screens for him, and he just didn't.
That's what I mean. I don't know why. He seemed to have his mind, I guess, that he was going to get a 3 off there, but that's not. He doesn't hunt shots very often. That was not his best possession.
13:45 in the first half. Virginia 12, Duke 9. Full court man-to-man pressure from the Wahoos. Not letting any moment go to waste after being blown out earlier this year by the Blue Devils. Caden Boozer, right elbow into the lane. Runs up, scores with the right hand. At an open alley to the basket, took advantage. Virginia 12, Duke 11.
He has really come on. He's got 7 points already.
Jakari White with a spin into the lane. Cross-court pass, Dallin Hall, 3, no, tipped up and in by Johan Brunlo, their center who just returned to the game after a brief stint on the bench. Virginia by 3.
See, now that's a good shot for Hall. Off the pass, corner 3, squared up, went 3/4 of the way down.
Brunlo chest to chest against Cameron Boozer. Straight line drive to the basket. The first shot didn't go, and then Nicholas Hamenya, the freshman, tips it in.
I don't know how you stop him. He just moves you backwards. He was right in front of him.
14-13, Virginia, one better than Duke. Jakari White, a nifty pass in the lane, knocked out of bounds. He has done a good job getting by his man, and there wanted to leave it for Grunlow with that heavily taped wrist. It was poked away by a Blue Devils defender. Duke substitutes. Cameron Boozer comes to sit as Malik Brown comes into the game. Devin Tillis to the bench for Virginia. Tester Ritter is in, along with Sam Lewis, replacing Jakari White.
Tester Ritter hasn't scored, so now we're going the other way here. The points from the wings that got nothing out at Cameron, and DeRitter was the big scorer. He's got nothing so far this evening.
Sometimes he's been a slow starter here at this tournament, and then he still finishes with his average. 15 or 16 points.
Cameron Boozer's been like that too. They both kind of play the same way in that regard.
DeRitter's got the ball backing down in the near short corner. Hemenia comes over to double. DeRitter looking for the open man. It's up top for Thomas. Shot fake, dribble right, three-pointer, just wide to the right. And the rebound caroms to the left for Malik Brown. Duke can retake the lead here. They're down 1, 14-13. ACC Tournament Championship game in Charlotte. Caden Boozer drives. Kick out Darren Harris, three-pointer. Backspins off the iron. And Sam Lewis clutches it. Virginia 14, Duke 13. Cavaliers in base blue jerseys. Orange accents in the front court left. Drumlow had it in the short corner. They pass around the perimeter. It's Thomas from the near corner. One dribble in, pull-up jumper. Off the iron, no. Hemenia the board. It's a momentary advantage for Virginia on defense, 5-on-4. And Caden Boozer drives right to the rim and gets fouled. He has been much more aggressive offensively in the absence of Caleb Foster. Virginia 14, Duke 13, and free throws coming up for Duke's Caden Boozer when we return to Spectrum Center. 11:53 to go in the first half, and you're listening to the T. Rowe Price ACC Tournament Championship game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The Rich Eisen Show.
David in Ohio, you're on the program. What's up, David?
But the news that Dak Prescott called off the engagement with his fiance, I kind of think the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl next year.
Oh, my God, David.
MVP season from Dak.
David, we don't usually traffic in these TMZ waters.
I like where your head's at.
The Rich Eisen Show from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
Sundays are for the NWSL on ESPN. For world-class action.
How much do you love this game?
For the two-time MVP magic.
Tim Washawinga, is this her moment? You better believe it!
For the passion of the ride or die.
Just absolutely crazy, crazy scene.
It's the NWSL you love.
Look, this is the place to be.
NWSL Sundays on ESPN, presented by Ally. Also streaming on the ESPN app.
Amber and Ian.
Mark Cuban was talking about this now. I don't know if his opinion has changed in the last 15 years, but back then it would be a better game if we were to shave 10 games off of the schedule. But as he said, the rest of the owners won't give up that gate.
Is it worth making money on those 10 extra games if 20 years down the road you aren't nearly as popular as you once were? And the money dries up anyways.
Amber and Ian. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
DJ K-Dub checking in, previously on the Firebomb Show.
Many years ago, I had an older guy call me over and said, you can't call a bunch of 18-year-olds a bunch of losers. And by the way, they were. I never did it again. Today, they're a bunch of young kids making more than all the people in the stands, which you've had to say is perfectly legitimate. Some talk shows don't allow it, but that's why you come here.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC network.
This is the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Tournament Final on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Gym basketball in studio. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Tournament Final on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Big East has gone to final. UConn falls to St. John's 72-59. A conference player of the year, Zuby Ejiofor, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 7 blocks, 3 steals. First time ever the Red Storm regular season and conference tourney champs in back-to-back seasons. A 20-point beatdown. 14-13, Virginia up top. 11:53 left in the opening half. We go back to Charlotte with Mike Peasley, Bob Alvano, and Mike Cousins.
Thank you, Jim. And we go courtside to Mike Peasley.
Well, with the injuries to Caleb Foster and Patrick Gungba, Duke has played just 7 players in the rotation so far here in this tournament. And some guys that aren't used to playing heavy minutes have been playing heavy minutes, including Caden Boozer yesterday. He played 37 minutes, and Nick Hemenia, he played 31. When asked about players being fatigued, John Shire said, the way we can sub in and out with our rotations, we'll be fresh and ready to go. He said it's a blessing to be playing for a championship, so fatigue is not going to be a factor in this game tonight.
Yeah, and that goes back also, by the way, I'll never forget hearing Coach Krzyzewski talk at a clinic. One of the reasons he got away from playing a more traditional one-man, two-man, three-man, four-man, he said, because here's the problem. Say your four-man gets in foul trouble and you have to take him out, and you put your backup four-man in, but he's only your ninth best player. That's a big drop-off. You'd want to play your sixth best player. And so that's kind of the way they play. It's very interchangeable position-wise.
And their talent, as far as the seventh man goes, Nick Kamenia, well, he was the number 15 recruit coming into the class in the ESPN 100 per Paul Biancardi. He is not like every other team's seventh man. Caden Boozer went 1 of 2 at the free throw line right side. We're tied at 14. Stays that way on a missed 3 by Malik Thomas of Virginia. Out of bounds off of his teammate Dallin Hall on the baseline left side. So it'll be Duke ball coming up the floor left to right, even at 14. Blue Devils 5 of 14 from the floor, 36%. Cavaliers 6 of 15 for 40%, and already a more competitive game than it was when they met in the regular season.
At this point, at the under 12 timeout, they had already doubled up Duke. They were at 15-7.
Semenya on the dribble, gets by DeRitter on the far side, gets all the way to the basket and lays it in. Wow, just a determined force to get to the rim for the freshman. 16-14 Blue Devils. The other way, Grunlow dunks it home for the right block on the feet from Chance Mallory. 16 apiece.
Unusual breakdown defensively for Duke. A simple, I don't even know what they did. They just lost him, flipped it to him, and he was unguarded completely and flushed it with 2 hands.
The world's first lost 7-footer on a 94-foot court. 11 minutes to go, first half. Boozer drives, scores with the right. Boy, he has turned into a different player over the last 2 nights.
He's running wild out here.
Getting to the rim at will. 18-16 Blue Devils, and the Cavaliers looking to answer. Mallory drives right, kicks it outside. DeRitter, 2 dribbles into the lane, and he's fouled on his way up. Nick Kamenia was in the vicinity. Malik Brown was there as well, a master of the deflection, as we saw yesterday, despite not scoring a ton. The foul is on Brown. That's his first.
You know, the cynics will say, well, it's Duke. They get all the calls, but they are so good at avoiding fouling, largely because they don't get out of position defensively and drawing fouls. They outscore opponents by 7 a game. I mean, that is astronomical. 16-9.
Tess DeRitter makes the first free throw. Technically a freshman. He's 23 years old. 6'9", 238 pounds for the native of Belgium, who played the last 2 years in Spain's top professional basketball league. And so he was all ACC first team this year, all ACC rookie team. And at 16 points a game, was 15th in the ACC in scoring. He goes 2 of 2 at the line. Duke and Virginia are tied at 18. And Devin Tillis checks in for Tess DeRitter on the Virginia side.
So it's going to be Onyenso, who's holding down the fort in the interior, but he's going to have to do it with Cameron Boozer back in the ballgame, who's just coming off the Duke bench again.
He brings the ball up the floor. We've seen more of that lately as well. He goes, lobs it up to the rim, and Malik Brown touches it off his fingertips, off the rim and then through. Soft touch on both ends of that pass. 2018, Duke by 2. Man-to-man defense for the Blue Devils. They get a tip away, they get a steal. It was knocked away by Brown, collected by Semenya. Caden Boozer at the right angle in the front court right. Kicks it out to the left angle. Semenya with a shot fake. 3 dribbles in the lane. Shot fakes twice, and it's easily batted away by Ugonna Onyenso.
He is so good, Mike, at not buying your up fake. He stays down. I mean, there's a lot of guys who will stay down on the first fake, but he stays down on the second fake. And then every shooter thinks, well, after 2 fakes, I got him off the balance now. Onyenso says, no, sir.
Onyenso just tied Tim Duncan's ACC tournament record, his 14th block shot of the event. We've still got 30 minutes to play here tonight in Charlotte. Duke up by 2, 2018 over Virginia. The number 1 and 2 seeds playing for the ACC tournament crown. 4 to shoot. Caden Boozer, short corner, lobs it over Onyenso. He missed it long. Malik Brown tips it, and Boozer collects his own miss after the carry. Dame Sarr, left angle, 3. Off the iron, no. And in a battle for the rebound, there's a foul underneath the basket on the right side with 9:37 to go.
We just can't keep them off the backboard.
Virginia's Devin Tillis gets called for the personal.
And they are getting smoked on the glass. It's doubled up on the glass. It's 14-7 in rebounds, and that is a big storyline right here. That's why I say Duke's got so many different ways to beat you.
On the inbound, Boozer lasers it into Malik Brown up top. Cameron Boozer, right wing, drives inside. Shot fakes twice against Onyenso. Lobs it over the big fella, and the shot just misses wide to the left. That was the best look anybody's had against Onyenso inside, who's blocked 2 shots already. Virginia down 2 with the ball in the front court left. Tillis shares from the far side back to White. Behind the back, steps into a 3. Good. And he gives a bit of a look to that Duke bench, but knows he's got to get back to defend. Virginia by 1, 21-20.
Second 3 for White. What a difference from the perimeter. Now they get some defensive rebounds. They might be able to actually get a little bit of separation. They're playing a pretty good, solid game plan here.
High ball screen, Caden Boozer from Malik Brown. Now goes left off the ball screen from his brother. Scoop shot right side, good. Holy cow, Caden Boozer's got 12 points. 22-21, Duke by 1. Both teams scrambling to get to their offense quickly down the floor. Mallory goes around Cameron Boozer and lays it in. The 5'10 freshman around the 6'9 freshman for Duke. 23-22 Virginia.
Well, they're daring Caden Boozer to beat him, and he's like, fine, I'll take the challenge.
Off a flare screen, Nicholas Semenya with a catch far side. Gives it to Brown. Now Dame Sarr, and it's an offensive foul called on Duke.
I think it's going to be the second on Malik Brown, I think.
Let's see how they call it, but Brown's headed to the bench.
It is.
That's number 2 on Brown, a big difference maker.
Defensive player of the year. We saw him get a block earlier, and he leads the country in steals per minute. He's just a defensive force to be reckoned with.
Isaiah Evans returns, and he is the most dangerous three-point shooter for the Blue Devils. Hit 7 of them the other night. It's Testerritter in the near short corner. One-on-one against Semenya. Backing his way down. He's got the size and experience advantage. His pass out, stolen by Sarr, who throws it back in to DeRitter. Now it's kicked off of DeRitter near midcourt. Taken by Caden Boozer. He goes 1-on-2, lobs it up, and Sarr finishes with a soft touch off the window with the right hand. Duke by 1, 24-23. How will Virginia respond? Jakari White, the North Dakota State transfer. He wants DeRitter to get into the post. He's flinted there. Mallory left angle. Long three-pointer. No. Wide to the right. Rebound offensive for DeRitter. In the short corner. Couple of dribbles. Jump stop. In the lane. Up to the left. The hook shot is short. No good. Cameron Boozer, the rebound for Duke. 24-23. Blue Devils by 1. Caden Boozer drives. Kick out. Sarr near corner triple. That's long. And the rebound tapped to the floor by Boozer. And then there was 3 Virginia players there, and Dallin Hall has it. Up the floor, White left angle, shot fakes a 3, spins inside on Evans, gives it out for Mallory. Inside 7 minutes to go in the first half. Duke by 1 over Virginia. Hall into the lane for Onyenso. It bounces off a couple of players' hands. Last touch by Boozer. And out of bounds, Virginia will keep it with 15 to shoot. Back and forth here in this game. The largest lead has been Virginia by 6, but with 6:48 to go before the half, it's Duke by 1, 24-23 over Virginia. This is the T. Rowe Price ACC Tournament Championship game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. The message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Smalls here. If it feels like everybody's sick right now, you aren't imagining it. Doctors say this is the worst cold and flu season in 25 years, and it's not over. I can't afford to get sick, and I doubt that you can either. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy right in your home. It includes prescriptions like generic Z-Pak to help you get well faster, plus antibiotics to treat pneumonia, strep throat, sinus and ear infections, nausea, even UTIs and other common illnesses. It's in your kit the moment you need it. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no lines at the pharmacy, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook and call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Order your medical emergency kit online in minutes and it ships to your door. Save $45 with my promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. Again, that's $45 off with promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. That's urgentcarekit.com/smalls, promo code SMALLS.
Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
This is the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Tournament Final on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Back here at Spectrum Center in Charlotte. 6:48 to go in the first half. And it's top-seeded Duke, 24. Number 2 seed Virginia, 23. Mike Cousins, Bob Valvano along with you. And Mike Peasley reporting from the Virginia huddle.
A very animated Virginia huddle during that timeout, Mike. The assistant coaches imploring the players to get on the ground. We have to get more loose balls. They said they're getting all the 50-50 balls. Those are balls that we have to get in order to be successful. They understand they have to rebound the ball as well. And also, they challenged Tess DeRitter. They said, Tess, we need you to be tougher inside.
Well, I was thinking that ball on the floor, he's your best player. And I hate to say it, but sometimes guys come from the pro league and mindset's not exactly the same. That was a ball he could have dove for. And he stood, tried to pick it up. And instead, the Duke players, Caden Boozer, they were on the floor. First one on the floor gets it a lot. And when they came up with it, it turned into a 2-on-1 and a layup. And in a game like this, that could decide the game. Certainly doesn't question his toughness. He's a tough player, but that was one that maybe I can see why the assistant coaches were imploring him to get a little bit more determined, if you will, on that possession.
Coming out of the timeout, Duke by 1. Virginia with the ball in the front court left. 6:45 remaining in the first half. Jakari White between the rings, a threat to shoot from anywhere. He picks up his dribble, bounces DeRitter, top of the key, out to the right angle. Mallory, left-handed dribble into the paint, wants to give it up, does to DeRitter, who lobs it up with the left to beat the shot clock, missed it, got it back, and put it in to put Virginia ahead by a point.
Well, that's an example of toughness. That was tough, just to get the shot up there and then muscle his way through to get the stick back.
And
he's willing to stick his nose in there.
And get the rebound against Cameron Boozer, the ACC Player of the Year, who is scoreless, 0 for 4 from the floor, but his brother Caden has 12 points. Left angle, Cameron Boozer on the drive inside, got on Yenso in the air. He went by, and he waited and laid it in for 2.
That was 3 up fakes. That's why he got that shot off. He just might have been 4. He just waited and finally got him just enough off balance where he could shoot it over him. But he's not going to make anything easy on the inside of Yenso.
26-25, Duke by a point, less than 6 minutes in the first half. White, top of the key. As DeRitter outside the three-point arc right side. The lane is open if he can get by Isaiah Evans. So far, so good. Shovel it out White. Off balance 3 from the far corner. No, not a great shot there. And Dame Sarr with a Duke rebound. And then a Virginia foul on Chance Mallory.
Still doesn't put him over the limit, but that'll be the last one. Here on in, Duke will be in the bonus.
That's going to make every coach pop a vein in their forehead when you foul somebody 92 feet from the basket.
Well, especially, I understand. You think a guy's in a vulnerable position and you come from like the blind side, but I think Sarr could see him right there. He wasn't going to take him by surprise.
Amenya inbounding for the Blue Devils. Virginia has been steady with its man-to-man full-court defense.
Well, that is the one thing Duke does not. It's the only statistical category. They do make some turnovers.
Blue Devils trying to win their 24th ACC tournament title. Already 23 the most, 5 better than second place North Carolina. 5:15 in the first half. Cameron Boozer near short corner. They wait to double him. He bounces into the lane for his brother Caden. Out for Sarr, left angle 3, goes down for Dame Sarr. He had missed his first 4. They continue to leave him open, and this time he makes Virginia pay. 29-25 Duke, the Blue Devil faithful, rising as one here inside Spectrum Center in Charlotte. Mallory down the right side of the lane, keeps the dribble alive. Down the three-point arc in the corner, finds Thomas at the right angle. Off a Grunlow ball screen to the top of the key. Works in on Hemenia. Jump stop right side of the lane. Up top to Ritter. He goes by Boozer. Kick it out Thomas. Shot clock is at 7. Thomas drive. And a blocking foul called against Hemenia, who tried to give up his body and take a charge, and it did not go his way.
That was a classic Duke defensive possession. Oh, my goodness, everything was suffocated. They switched, they rotated, they stepped up. Good call if you watch the replay. He's got his feet on the ground, but he leans his upper body in the path of the driver, and there'll be a 2-shot foul. We've got a crack officiating crew today. No question about that. These guys, this could be a Final Four crew.
Malik Thomas at the line, shooting 2 for Virginia. Our officials today, Roger Ayers, Ron Gruber, Bert Smith. First free throw is good, 29-26. And those around the ACC who like to prognosticate on such matters of officiating, who started to guess yesterday by the start of game number 2, all right, well, these 3 hadn't worked the game today. That can only mean that they have the honor, and it really is for these officials, to work the championship game today.
Well, I know you were excited because you were going to ride. If you had left without seeing Roger Ayers at least one more time, I'm not sure you would have been able to do this.
And I have him sign my autograph book, too. 29-27, Duke by 2 over Virginia. And it's the Blue Devils with the ball front court left. Caden Boozer's got a dozen points. Back to the basket, in the lane. Cavaliers swiping down on him. His layup short, long rebound to the top of the key. Virginia had it, lost it. Cameron Boozer now left to right. To the near corner. Hemenia open triple. Doesn't go. And Virginia does come away with the rebound this time. That was a good look there for the Blue Devil freshman. In the lane, right side. Sam Lewis, shot puts it short on the 2-point try. Dame Sarr falls to the ground as he gets the rebound. And now a diving try to get after it by Virginia. And it looks like we've got
somebody called a timeout.
Was there possession to call timeout?
I didn't see that. We'll have to wait and see if how they'll interpret this for us.
Johan Grunlo, the 7-foot center for Virginia, was diving for the loose ball. And I guess they give him the timeout there. So Virginia takes it. 3:58 to go in the first half. Duke 29 and Virginia 27. This is the T. Rowe Price ACC Tournament Championship game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Running a business teaches you one thing fast. The biggest losses are rarely loud. They're quiet. It's a missed call or a follow-up that never happens. And when customers can't reach you, they move on. That's why growing businesses choose Quo, the modern business phone system. With one shared number and every conversation in one place, nothing slips through the cracks. Get started free and get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN. That's QUO.com/ESPN. Quo, better customer experiences and no more silent costs slowing your growth.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes just like the best birthday cake ever. Vanilla, buttery, frosting vibes. It's basically a party in a bottle. And here's the best part. All cake, no sugar. And you know I love my cake. So I get that big birthday energy without any sugar guilt. The bottle's small, easy to toss in my bag, and perfect when I need a quick, tasty caffeine boost to cakeify my day. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo prefilled syringe, which contains efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART myway.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
I'm RJ Decker, a private investigator, uncovering the Sunshine State's darkest secrets.
Tuesdays, it's the premiere of ABC's hottest new crime show.
RJ freaking Decker, as I live and breathe.
He's a private eye.
It's not a standard murder. It's something bigger.
And a public mess.
Trying to get sent back to prison today?
You go to prison one time, and suddenly it's all the jokes.
RJ Decker, series premiere. Tuesdays on ABC and stream on Hulu.
You're listening to the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Tournament Final on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
College basketball on ESPN Radio is brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Shop Sherwin-Williams and get 35% off paints and stains now through March 23rd. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. A party-like atmosphere here inside Spectrum Center in Charlotte. 3:58 to go. Duke 29, Virginia 27. My cousins Bob Valvano and Mike Peasley along with you.
Mike, Caden Boozer, a big reason why right now that Duke has a 2-point lead here late in the first half. And if you go back and watch his first game in the quarterfinals against Florida State, you wouldn't recognize the same guy that we have seen here the last two nights. And John Shire said after that quarterfinal game against the Seminoles, he sat down and had to talk to him and said, look, I still believe in you. You're just a freshman. There's a lot of things that you haven't seen. But he said yesterday he loved the assertiveness right away, and certainly he has been in attack mode again here tonight.
He has been mightily impressive. There are not many teams that could withstand going into their conference tournament, losing their starting point guard, losing their starting center, and not appearing to be all that much worse off for it. Florida State gave him a scare. A shot at the buzzer for Robert McRae didn't fall. If it did, it would have been Florida State advancing into the semis. But instead, here it's the Blue Devils with a 2-point lead, 29-27. Virginia, which has not scored in the last 2:30 on a field goal anyway, defends at the right end. Underneath on a backdoor cut, Isaiah Evans takes a pass from Cameron Boozer at the top of the key, lays it up for two. Blue Devils up 4.
That was a set play out of the timeout to get him going. He hadn't scored yet, and you put it in the big Cameron Boozer's hands. He stands at the top. He's like a quarterback with time in the pocket. He can just find guys.
He had 5 assists yesterday as well in their victory over 5th-seeded Clemson. Well, the Tigers were a little bit shorthanded. Baseline drive, and Boozer gets beat after his assist at the other end of the floor by Malik Thomas with a lay-in. And
that's his White as the primary defender. He's gotten beat from the wing off the dribble.
They have been attacking him deliberately. Cameron Boozer, top of the key, looks to the near side right, holding the ball just off his right hip. Came to pass, now makes it to Dame Sarr. Virginia very clearly sagging off of Sarr, who's made 1 of his 5 3-point tries. Far side wing, Evans takes his dribble to his left. 3-pointer good. And it's Duke 34, Virginia 29.
There you go. That one layup got him going, and then they ran the play that time for a flare on the other side, and he paid it off.
Bruno on the dribble, in the paint, guarded by 2. Kick out, Thomas, 3-pointer to answer. Off front iron, and the rebound up in the air into the front court. It's Caden Boozer, runs away and dunks with 2. He's got 14 first-half points, and Duke has its largest lead at 36-29.
Well, this is what they do to you. They just suddenly get a surge.
2:15 to go in the first half. Dallin Hall left angle. Chest pass right to DeRitter at the opposite angle. Into a dribble handoff. Sam Lewis tightly guarded, picked up by Boozer. Back to Hall between the rings. Between the legs dribble. Thinking about a 3-pointer against Evans. Wanted to feed inside. His pass to the far sideline. Out of bounds and last touch by his teammate Sam Lewis. Virginia turns it over. Lewis is pleading to the official Bert Smith, but to no avail. It's Duke ball.
If you're rattling Dallin Hall, you're doing a job with your defense, because he was trying to go down to test the Ritter in the low post. Didn't think he had a passing angle. And again, what did they do? They challenged that point to wing pass. They deflect it, winds up going off the Virginia player, and now all of a sudden they got a chance to get this thing to a double-digit lead.
This can be a very scary Duke defense. Yesterday, the final 8 minutes of the first half, Duke did not yield a single field goal against the Clemson Tigers. Lead is 7, 36-29, 150 in the first half. Caden Boozer driving to the basket, but he got so open because of an illegal screen, and it'll go the other way.
Well, that's a break for Virginia, because the way the smaller Boozer has been going here, I always want to call him the younger, but obviously the twins, he has had a career night so far in the first half.
14 points, 5 of 8 from the floor, 2 assists, made the only 3 he's taken. And a difference maker in a 7-point game. Virginia down the touchdown and the extra point, working in the front court left. Freshman Mallory from Charlottesville finds Hall left angle, drives on Boozer, gets to the basket. His layup doesn't drop, but he's fouled inside by Nicholas Hemenia. Foul number 2 on the freshman. So that's Malik Brown and Hemenia, each with 2 fouls for the Blue Devils, and 2 free throws coming here with Virginia down 7.
That's interesting, because that's the third time Boozer got beat again. He had Hall on a switch, and he just put his head down and went to his right. And then you got the foul, but he wasn't the primary defender. He'd come over to help, because Hall was going right to the bucket.
Dallin Hall and his highlighter orange shoes makes the first free throw, 36-30. Duke in the lead. 1:33 in the first half.
The day when everybody wore the same shoes.
Certainly made things a lot more simple, right? I don't think anybody on the floor, 10 players, has the same pair of shoes.
Even on the same team, you got greens and oranges. It looks like Walt Disney threw up. I mean, it's just colors all over the place.
All 2 of 2 at the free throw line, and that gets Virginia back within 5, 36-31. All has 4. Malik Thomas, the leading scorer on the floor for the Wahoos with 7. Caden Boozer, a huge game.
Oh, my.
And he throws it away at the top of the key. It went between his brother Cameron and Isaiah Evans. So the rare mistake in his 14-point first half. Virginia ball with 1:19 before the break.
Well, not completely his fault. Both of them thought it was the old Alphonse Gaston before your time. You remember that. But he threw it, and each thought the other was going to catch it, so they pulled their hands down. Either could have caught it, actually.
More of a Charlie Chaplin fan myself. Fair enough. Virginia down 5. Chance Mallory with a one-handed pass. Dallin Hall gets it back left angle. Returns it to Hall. Top of the key. 2 dribbles near side. Underhand Mallory. Overhead pass. Wide open Hall. Left side triple. Got it. That's a big one for Virginia. It's 36-34 Duke.
They answer with a run of their own. Teams haven't been able to do that very much to Duke.
45 seconds to go first half. Mallory pokes the ball loose from Caden Boozer to the far sideline. Out of bounds. Stays with Duke. 19 on the shot clock. And the Blue Devils want a timeout here as John Shire, the head coach, calls timeout, waves his players over with a great deal of urgency, holding the dry erase board, ready to draw up a play. And when they've done that today, they've gotten some really good looks.
Well, they use it or lose it timeout. What are they going to do here? They have 19 on the shot clock. Depends on how far down they want to go. I don't think, but if you shoot really quickly here, you can get it back. You could go 2 for 1 if you wanted to. I mean, if you get a shot off with a sideline out of bounds play where the receiver is the guy who shoots it, you shoot it with like 40 seconds, you'll get it back with like 10 to go, even if the other team runs it all the way down. So that may be one of the things they're talking about here. Take a chance at a 2 for 1.
You know how tomorrow there's going to be on every TV network that does a bracket breakdown show, a blind resume of Team A versus Team B. If I did a blind resume of field goals today, you wouldn't have Duke's leading scorer, Cameron Boozer, as their lowest scoring player on the floor right now. 2 points, 1 of 5 from the floor. And I say that because I made the point yesterday that there's nobody on the floor in this 7-man rotation for Duke that they don't want taking a shot.
Yeah.
And they're okay with everybody scoring. And so they inbound here. Dame Sarr just across the midcourt stripe, front court right, looking to get it in. And he does to Cameron Boozer. Left angle, his right toe on the three-point arc. A dribble handoff, Isaiah Evans. Jump stop right side of the lane. And it swirls all the way around the rim and goes down. And he did it against the shot blocker, Ugana Onyenso, to give Duke a 4-point lead.
Well, now they just were deliberately delaying getting the ball in, so now they can play for one shot here, Virginia.
23 seconds to go in the half, and the shot clock is off. Cavaliers are down by 4, 38-34, playing in pursuit of their 4th ACC title. For Duke, it would be their 24th. Dallin Hall deep in the left wing, 8 to shoot. He gets double teamed inside on Yenso. On the block, 1 dribble, hook shot good with 3 seconds to go. Duke by 2. The inbound to Evans, 3-quarter court shot left to right is no good. And we've got a 2-point game at the half here in Charlotte. Duke 38 and Virginia 36.
Well, this is what we hoped we were going to get at Cameron. This is the kind of game we were talking about. Back and forth, great execution, great game plans, physical, tough, and we've got ourselves a competitive one at the half. No question about that.
The number 1 seed and the number 2 seed separated by just a bucket. Duke 38, Virginia 36 at the end of 20 minutes. Now here's Jim Basquill in the studio with the Cintas halftime report.
All right, Mike, thanks so much. On a day that his All-American brother Cameron has 2 points in the opening half, Caden Boozer, who comes off a career-high 14 points in the first half, 5 of 8 are from the floor. The college basketball halftime show is presented by Cintas. Keep your team protected, prepared, and looking great. Visit Cintas.com. Coming up next on the Cintas College Basketball Halftime Report, we'll take a look at the championship week scoreboard, title games around the nation with highlights ahead. You're listening to the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Championship game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Granger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Granger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Smalls here. If it feels like everybody's sick right now, you aren't imagining it. Doctors say this is the worst cold and flu season in 25 years, and it's not over. I can't afford to get sick, and I doubt that you can either. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy right in your home. It includes prescriptions like generic Z-Pak to help you get well faster, plus antibiotics to treat pneumonia, strep throat, sinus and ear infections, nausea, even UTIs and other common illnesses. It's in your kit the moment you need it. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no lines at the pharmacy, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook and call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Order your medical emergency kit online in minutes and it ships to your door. Save $45 with my promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. Again, that's $45 off with promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. That's urgentcarekit.com/smalls, promo code SMALLS.
Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Amber and Ian.
They did not get cold feet. They got cold, we got a better deal over here that we don't have to give up the picks for. But why wasn't that all contemplated before they decided to trade for Max Crosby? Because it's not like Trey Hendrickson wasn't on their radar. I feel like all of this looks terrible for Eric DeCosta, and I do wonder how it's going to affect teams negotiating with the Baltimore Ravens moving forward.
Amber and Ian, weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Hey, did you miss Clinton and Friends?
The WBC this year has surpassed everything I thought it was going to be. This tournament has lived up to the expectations. The teams are performing well. Everybody seems to be into it except for maybe one squad. And it's entertaining. There's no way you can deny that. We're not in a position to say that this is some cockamamie field that has no business on the world stage.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. You're listening to the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Tournament Final on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Jim Basketball back on the Cintas College Hoops halftime report where Duke leads Virginia in the ACC title game 38-36 halfway through. Big 12 championship this afternoon on ESPN Radio. Arizona gets a huge lift from Braden Burry.
5 to shoot. Here's Bradley at the free throw line, kicks it back out. Burries doesn't see the shot clock. Burries finally gets it off and banks in a prayer from the top of the key as the shot clock was about to expire.
That's the second banked-in shot in the last couple minutes for Arizona, so let's just say they've been fortuitous lately.
And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. He got a little help from his friends late.
Ivan Karchenkov running the baseline, inbounds it, gets it to Bradley, who'll take it to the other end, but he missed the layup. Fleming's the rebound, bringing it back down the floor for Houston. Down 6, Milos Musin, step back 3, good, right wing, and Houston within 3 with 53.8 left.
Not enough. Milos Musin getting it done for Houston, but Arizona fends them off 79-74 in the Big 12 title game. Jaden Bradley, who had the buzzer beater a night ago, he's post-game with our Courtney Cronin.
Jaden, how does it feel to win the Big 12 tournament?
Man, I'm proud of our guys. Man, we fought so hard. You know, this is something we talked about earlier in the season. You know, we still got a long way to go.
There was a period of 7 minutes and 24 seconds where you guys were held scoreless. What was Coach Lloyd saying in the timeouts to be able to get you back in this game?
I mean, we knew it was going to be easy. Houston's a great defensive team. They're not going to make it easy on us. You know, it's hard with their defensive coverages. We took our time and we got the win.
great balance today. Both you, Braden Burries, Ivan Karchenkov, and Koa Pete all in double figures. How did that help you get back into this game?
Man, we got so many talented guys. Everybody's nice. I feel like Ivan was a big X factor for us. Koa, Braden, all our bigs. We just went in there and handled business.
I've got to ask about your left hand. You go out at 18-minute mark in the second half. What happened?
Just a little bruise. But I came back, had to fight for my guys. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but, I'm going to heal up and get ready for March Madness.
You get to play somebody outside of the Big 12 for once. How excited are you to go beat up on another conference?
Man, it's going to be crazy. Just a physicality in the Big 12. It's just going to be not easier, but, it's just going to feel like we got a lot of force on the other teams.
Yeah, he was one of 4 in double figures for the Wildcats, led by Burries and Pete combined each for 21 points for the winners. Big East, Zuby, and the Johnnies get it done.
Darling rolls off a missile screen to Sandin. Sandin free throw line, a little closer, back out, 3-ball Zuby. Bingo! Zuby Ejiofor. How about that for a response? A 3-point shot for Zuby, and the Red Storm ahead 54-42.
Oh, what a money shot.
The crowd is just about ready to explode. The final 3 seconds, and this is a victory for St. John's. As St. John's turns back Connecticut 72-52 here at Madison Square Garden.
Indeed, John Minko from Learfield, 72-52. Zuby Ejiofor, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 7 blocks, 3 steals. Bryce Hopkins, 18 and 9 as well. St. John's first time ever they win the regular seasons and tournament titles in the Big East in back-to-back years, 59 and 11 under Hall of Fame coach Rick Pitino the last 2 seasons. How about the Big Ten semis? Michigan, Wisconsin, down to the wire.
16 seconds left. Cadeau with it in between the circles. Guarded by Boyd. Timer at 10. Left elbow Morrow with 8. Looks right to Johnson. Handoff Cadeau with 6. Drifting right corner. Guarded by Rapp. Over Yaks. Right wing 3 for the win.
Oh, yeah! Yes, sir.
They keep .3 on the clock. 68-65, and the league's player of the year does it on a 3, and Wisconsin can't do anything but tip it down 3.
As heard on Learfield, Yaxel Lindenberg, who struggled mightily throughout the day, got it done late with that 3-pointer with .4 on the clock. Michigan passed Wisconsin 68-65. They advanced to take on Purdue in the Big Ten title game. Oscar Clough had 17 points, 14 rebounds in the 73-66 win over UCLA. Semis from the SEC, and Vandy gives it to Florida.
Florida going the other way with Brown. He's going to lay it up and miss. Comes off to Miles. Pass ahead. Tanner on the other end. Lays it home.
And a missed dunk turns into a wide open look right there. Man, that was a one-scoring affair. Learfield call there. Tyler Tanner, 20 points. Vandy over Florida, 91-74. Gators' 12-game winning streak comes to an end with their coach Todd Golden on why they should still be a 1 seed.
I'm looking at quad 1 wins. I think we're in a good spot that way. Analytically predictive metrics, whether it's KenPom, Torvik, we're top 4 in all those by a wide margin. It's really not close. We had our early season tough start where we played really good competitive opponents in road or semi away venues where we fell a little bit short, but we hadn't lost in 54 days or something leading up to this game, playing some of the best basketball in America. And, I do believe we've done enough to be the 4th 1 seed, but we'll find out tomorrow night.
For Vandy, they get Arkansas in the title game of the SEC. Darius Acuff, Junior, 5 of his 24 in overtime. They fend off Ole Miss 93-90. Meantime, Dayton in a wild finish takes out St. Louis 70-69. A final tick of that game is where they won it. They dominated. VCU did, St. Joseph. So that will be your title game. It'll be Dayton and VCU from the A-10. Mountain West title game goes the way of Utah State 73-62. So no San Diego State will taking a bid from someone else. Top seed Howard over NC Central taking the MEAC title. Meantime, UMBC 74-59 winners over Vermont in the America East, and SWAC has gone final. Prairie View A&M a winner over Southern. They punched their ticket to the big dance. Coming up next in the college basketball halftime report, brought to you by Cintas, the second half from Charlotte in a close affair for Duke and Virginia. This is the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Championship on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Running a business teaches you one thing fast. The biggest losses are rarely loud. They're quiet. It's a missed call or a follow-up that never happens. And when customers can't reach you, they move on. That's why growing businesses choose Quo, the modern business phone system. With one shared number and every conversation in one place, nothing slips through the cracks. Get started free and get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN. That's QUO.com/ESPN. Quo, better customer experiences and no more silent costs slowing your growth.
Harry Douglas here. I don't wait for birthdays to celebrate. I grab Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes like rich vanilla birthday cake with buttery funfetti goodness. Seriously, it's unapologetically extra in the best way. And it's sugar-free, so I get all that cake flavor without the guilt. It's tiny, portable, and ready for whenever I need a quick boost. I keep one with me because you never know when you'll need a little party energy. The funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
I like things my way, my coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo pre-filled syringe, which contains F-gartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART MyWay.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
Which teams are making moves and which teams need to just flat out move? Your Saturday means I'm locked in and ready for First Take right here, Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
NBA Monday on ESPN Radio. It's an Eastern Conference showdown.
Jump past the bank, Carroll. Wing left three.
Got another one. As the race to the postseason heats up, the Magic and Hawks are fighting to escape the play-in tournament as they go head-to-head in the ATL.
Johnson goes high and flies and jams it at one. Jalen Johnson.
The Magic at the Hawks. Coverage begins Monday at 6:30 Eastern with tip-off at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Indeed. This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
I feel like the San Antonio Spurs are going to represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals, and I think everyone feels like whoever comes out of the West will win the NBA championship. So with that being said, it's San Antonio. It's coming from you. It's coming from me. I think one of the main ingredients to us feeling like this is they have the ability to play defense.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Anthony Edwards loves Matilda, as do I.
Never saw it.
With the great Danny DeVito?
That's a you must have seen kind of movie.
Nuno, have you seen Matilda?
I have, and I'm going to share this, and I'm probably going to be made fun of. Me and Danny share the same birthday.
You and Danny DeVito?
Yes.
Same height, same birthday.
As I said.
Same year? No, not same year.
Yeah, Danny's way younger than Nuno.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. This is the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Tournament Final on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Jim Basketball back on the Cintas College Hoops halftime report. Caden Boozer scored or assisted on 19 of Duke's 38 points in the opening half. As Coach John Shire with our Molly McGrath.
Coach, seemingly every time Virginia punched, you punched back. What did you like about your team's response in that first half?
Well, it was a big-time half. I mean, they're really good. They put a lot of pressure on you. I thought we had some good moments, and then, I wish we would close the half better, but that's how this game is going to go. Just it's a game of runs, and we got to answer now in the second half.
26 points in the paint for you. How are you able to find so much success attacking the basket?
Well, I thought we did a really good job just with our decision-making, attacking the paint when we can, when we have the advantage, and then when we don't, making good kicks and guys being ready to shoot.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.
It's Duke by 2. We got a half to decide an ACC champ. Let's go back to Charlotte with Mike Peasley, Bob Valvano, and Mike Cousins.
Jim, thank you so much. We welcome you back here to Charlotte. And as we get the second half underway in just a moment, let's go down to Mike Peasley.
Mike, I talked with Virginia Associate Head Coach Griff Aldrich going into halftime, and I asked him about the importance of those final 3 minutes after Duke had extended the lead to 7 for them to cut it to 2. And he said it was absolutely vital for us. The ball game was starting to get away. He's like, we started on the defensive end. That's where that little run began. He said he likes the flow of the game. The guys are going hard and competing. When I asked about the dribble penetration from Caden Boozer, he said he's getting into the lane too easy against us. And he said some of that is because all of our focus right now is really on Cam Boozer. But he added that when Caden Boozer drives, their bigs have to do a better job of centering up defensively when he gets into the lane. That's something they will adjust here in the second half.
Well, it was the first time this year that Caden, the guard, outscored his brother Cameron in the first half of any game that they've played this year. It's time for Bob Valvano's halftime adjustments, and they're brought to you by True Green. Don't want to miss a moment? Stop wasting time on lawn care and get True Green. Let the pros do the hard work so you can get back to the game. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com.
Well, Virginia's got to take care of their rebounding a little bit better. They're getting out-rebounded 19-12, but what they're doing a good job of, surprisingly, when they've given up 9 offensive rebounds, they've only given up 4 second-chance points. That's really an incredibly low number. But I would hate to have to live and die by that. So they're going to have to rebound a lot better if they're going to have to give themselves a good chance going down the stretch. They got to get the Ritter involved a little bit more. He only had 4 points. They're getting the points from the wings that we talked about at the start. They've gotten the wing guys to shoot the basketball. White's got 2 threes. Blake Thomas has a 3. After that game at Duke where they were invisible, those guys have all stepped up and contributed. They had to play without Sam Lewis for a lot of that half. He had foul trouble, so he could be a factor in this. And they're going to have to solve the Caden Boozer problem. Because Cam, you know how great he is, but Caden has caused all sorts of havoc, and I don't think they're going to be able to just help with the bigs, because if they do, he's going to find his brother, and you're going to pay. The guards have got to do a good job, the primary defender, of keeping him out of the lane, much better than they did in the first half.
And the other thing that stands out, too, relative to the first game they played at the end of February, 26 points in the paint by Duke, which was as many as they had in the entirety of that game at Cameron Indoor. Blue Devils with the ball up 38-36. Near side block, Malik Brown up top for Isaiah Evans on the drive, pivot, steps through, floats it against Dallin Hall, missed it. Rebound, Johan Grunlow, a well-defended first possession of the half by Virginia.
They were trying to throw a lob. They defended that well, and then Hall wouldn't let Evans go by him on the drive. You're right. Terrific Virginia defense.
Dallin Hall, left angle, takes a Grunlow ball screen just inside the arc, spins it up top for DeRitter. His pass inside directly to Malik Brown of Duke. Virginia turns it over. 40 seconds into the half, 1 possession for each team, and no scoring difference just yet. Cameron Boozer, with a relatively quiet first half, has a size advantage on Dallin Hall outside the lane far side. Grunlow comes over to double. Dump it inside Malik Brown. Cross court. It's an open look for Evans for 3. He splashes it down. Duke is up 41-36.
What a perfect possession. They doubled, found the cutter. They helped to the cutter. They threw it to the side the help came from, and that guy's wide open, and he's a guy who can make it, Evans.
Consistently unselfish basketball from Duke. Thomas, high right wing, nice pocket pass inside to Ritter. Looks to kick it out. Hall in the corner, gives it up. Lewis, a 3. That's good. Great response. And you mentioned it, Sam Lewis was saddled with foul trouble, but he does for the 3rd straight day what he does best, make 3-pointers.
And that was a equally unselfish and creative possession by the Cavaliers to get a good look.
Duke by 2, 41-39, 18-20 second half. Cameron Boozer doubled again. Once again, he finds Brown on the near block. Ball comes up out of his hands. He lost it trying to pass it, and Grunlow took it away.
He did a really good job rotating out of that trap that time.
Virginia with a chance to tie or take the lead here. 2 minutes elapsed in the second half, down 41-39. Thomas inside for DeRitter, a creative score. Outside Grunlow, thought about a 3, thought better of it. Gives to Thomas, right down the middle of the lane. The layup ties the game at 41.
Well, Virginia getting some ball movement and player movement, and that you're going to have to do that. Duke's not going to let you get a good shot off of one pass or one cut.
The C's parted in biblical fashion there for Thomas, right down the appropriately blue-colored lane. Isaiah Evans, right wing 3, curling off a screen, missed it. And Grunlow outlets it quickly up ahead. Thomas spins in the lane, goes up with the right, and gets fouled. He was forcing the issue there. And Roger Ayers, the official, says the call was on the way up. So he'll shoot a couple of free throws, and Virginia can take the lead for the first time since there were 6.5 minutes to go in the first half.
A perfect start to this half, really, for Virginia. They got a trap, a double team, and then a turnover out of that. They gave up a 3 out of it once, but so there's no shutouts in basketball. They also got a turnover, and at the offensive end, they looked good. Ball movement, player movement, good shots.
24-year-old graduate student Malik Thomas spins the ball in his left hand, shoots with the right, and vaults Virginia ahead by 1, 42-41. Thomas has been a consistent presence for Virginia here in their 2 previous games of this tournament. Thursday against NC State, scored 16. Yesterday against Miami, 15 points in 22 minutes. And this trip to the free throw line, he adds 2 to his tally. 43-41, Virginia by 2. And they may be tired from playing full court defense throughout the entirety of this game, but there isn't one after this in the ACC tournament anyway. Joe Lunardi has them as a number 4 seed in the NCAA tournament, and Duke playing for the number 1 overall seed in the field of 68. 43-41, out of a double team, Ken Boozer to the far corner, and he hits Malik Brown, or rather Isaiah Evans, for 3 to put Duke up by 1.
I mean, he just caught it and then threw it right over the defense. He's so tall and has such great vision from the left wing to the right corner for 3.
5 outside the paint, 3-pointer right side, Lewis for 3. And Virginia goes back in front, 46-44.
What a difference from Cameron. The wings were invisible at Cameron. They're shouting loud and clear tonight. They're here to play.
Now, Sam Lewis last year at Toledo shot 44% from 3, led the MAC, and is leading Virginia in shooting from distance here in Charlotte. Cavs by 2. Isaiah Evans, high left wing, cross-court pass, goes to Caden Boozer. Now to his brother Cameron. In the short corner, rips through, shoots it, got fouled. Shot didn't go, but Malik Thomas hit him, and Thomas is saying that should be a foul on the floor.
No, it's the right call. He does that so well. We saw him do it yesterday. I remember he made a 3-point play doing it yesterday. He rips the ball through, gets reaching across his arm. He's strong enough still to get the shot up. Last night he managed to get it to go down. This time he'll just get 2 free throws.
Cameron Boozer yesterday, 24 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. Today, 2 points, 1 of 5 from the floor. His first free throw attempt of the night is no good. But with the stat line yesterday, he joined a pretty good club. 4th Duke player with at least 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists in an ACC tournament game. The last player to do it was Danny Ferry in 1987.
Wow.
Jim Spinarco before that in 77, and Art Heyman in 63.
He's got 5 assists already tonight. He's playing a kind of a de facto point guard, even though his brother's bringing the ball up the floor. He's the one that really is facilitating a lot of his teammates.
And he does make the second of 2 free throws, 1 of 2 at the line. He's now got a whopping 3 points on the day, and yet it's just a 1-point game. Virginia 46 and Duke 45. Almost 4 minutes gone in the second half, with Virginia looking to win an ACC tournament crown and avenge a 26-point loss earlier this year. Lewis probes under the basket, finds Mallory in the corner, 3-pointer, goes down for the freshman from Charlottesville.
That little dude is fearless. I'll tell you what, he's in no situation. Oh, he just stole the ball.
A steal on the inbound, it's Malik Thomas. Near side of the lane, first marker. Finds Mallory as the trailer. Takes it beyond the arc, they slow it down. Thomas drives inside, off balance, hoists it up, missed it. Onyenso tried to tip it in, and he was the last one to touch it as the ball bounced out of bounds. Ryan Odom can't believe it. He could have had his team up 6 at going into the timeout.
They got a little blood in the water mindset there, which is great. They got excited, but they got a little too excited. That was not a great shot. There was plenty of time on the shot clock. They probably should have made Duke chase them a little bit, but they still got a 4-point lead at the under 16.
Courtesy of a Chance Mallory 3. Virginia 49, Duke 45, 15-41 second half. This is the T. Rowe Price ACC Tournament Championship game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
If you work in university maintenance, Grainger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Grainger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more, and all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, visit Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Smalls here. If it feels like everybody's sick right now, you aren't imagining it. Doctors say this is the worst cold and flu season in 25 years, and it's not over. I can't afford to get sick, and I doubt that you can either. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy right in your home. It includes prescriptions like generic Z-Pak to help you get well faster, plus antibiotics to treat pneumonia, strep throat, sinus and ear infections, nausea, even UTIs and other common illnesses. It's in your kit the moment you need it. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no lines at the pharmacy, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook and call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Order your medical emergency kit online in minutes and it ships to your door. Save $45 with my promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. Again, that's $45 off with promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. That's urgentcarekit.com/smalls, promo code SMALLS.
Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
You're listening to the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Tournament Final on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Here at Spectrum Center, Charlotte, North Carolina, 49-45. Virginia out in front of Duke, a 4-point difference, 15:41 to go second half with Mike Beasley, Bob Valvano, Mike Cousins. One of the many strengths of this Virginia team is its three-point shooting. Chance Mallory just made a three-pointer. They've made 7 three-pointers today. They've made 10 or more threes in 20 games this year. And just for comparison's sake, their national championship team in 2019 only did that 13 times. This team has done it 20 times.
Yeah, well, that's much more part of their built-in philosophy than it was back in 2019. But the thing is that you're looking at is they're doing that, and they do have the ability to get some interior scoring. And Yenso's got one goal around the basket. And then the big thing is they got to get the big fellow going here, Testa Ritter, who's only got 1 field goal in the game. If he could start get going, in addition to the perimeter game they're getting, they'd be in, well, I guess you could say the same thing for Duke. Duke's getting points from unexpected sources. Caden Boozer's got 14. Evans is not unexpected, but he's got 13, but Cam Boozer's only got 3. So we'll see which one of the big studs gets going first.
Inbounds comes quickly across midcourt. Isaiah Evans drives inside, and it's smacked off the backboard by Sam Lewis. It was a mismatch in Duke's favor, and that was erased like a windshield wiper by Lewis. So Virginia down the floor. Testa Ritter, who's got 1 field goal, their leading scorer, backs in on Hemenia. Hook shot over the right shoulder, too much on it. Rebound by Evans, who violently rotates his way out of the defense there and gets Hemenia into the front court left.
He's got to work harder so he can shoot with his right hand. He's taking all left-handed hooks.
Lob inside Boozer against Onyenso, and it's rejected. A new ACC tournament record, and then Virginia gives it right back. Hemenia swatted again. Onyenso, 4 block shots in this game, and he leapfrogs Tim Duncan for the ACC tournament block shots record.
He's a one-man goalie back there.
Standing on his head on the hardwood here in Charlotte. Still 49-45 Virginia, still Duke ball. But there was 2 seconds on the shot clock, now to 27, so possession had been lost and then regained by Duke. Caden Boozer inbounds to his brother Cameron. He's got just 3 points. Lines up a 3. That's no good. Rebound, Dallin Hall, who got yanked to the ground by Duke's Darren Harris in the process. Like they were tethered together.
Oh, they called it on Virginia.
What? I don't know how that's possible.
Wow.
Darren Harris was falling to the ground, and his momentum is what dragged Hall to the floor. That is a bizarre call. So it stays Duke ball. 5 minutes into the second half, second team foul against the Cavaliers, and another block by Onyenso. Rejection on Boozer. The other way, it's Mallory to the basket. Floats it to the near wing to Kari White, who steps out of bounds. We have not had a game where that hasn't happened this week.
You see, that makes the sideline now 13,205-0. Undefeated. Sideline undefeated.
That last block was Onyenso's 5th of the game, by the way. He had 8 blocks 2 nights ago against NC State. We still got 14 and a half minutes to go. Boozer underneath, pass knocked away. Evans recollects, had to shoot it over Onyenso and shot it over the rim. Virginia still by 4, 49-45, trying to knock off Duke here in Charlotte. Jakari White, left angle, three-pointer. Off the front rim of the backboard, rebound, Caden Boozer. And he can assume his point guard duties and come up the floor. Picks up a screen from his brother Cameron, gives it to Cameron, top of the key, tries another three. This time it goes, and he doubles his point total on the night from 3 to 6 and gets Duke within 1.
Yeah, this is his time. Watch out.
49-48. Virginia's lead is 1. Their largest advantage today has been 6. Duke has led by as many as 7. Dallin Hall with a right-handed dribble into the lane. Sprays it out. Mallory takes a left-handed dribble across the lane. Backs his way in. Floats. Missed it. It bounced off the rim. Swatted straight down by Cameron Boozer. Duke has it in a 3-on-2 right to left. Amenya into the lane. 1-on-2. Shot is no good. And he bumped into Dallin Hall of Virginia. It's a foul against the Cavaliers point guard with 13:36 to go.
Another 50-50 ball that goes Duke's way.
And it all started with Cameron Boozer under the basket on the right side. Knew he couldn't get two hands on the rebound, so he just took his right hand, smacked it down, and it effectively served as an outlet pass up the floor. So here's Amenya, who had a career-high tying 14 points last night, and he makes the first free throw. 5 points for him this evening. We're tied at 49.
I'll tell you, it sometimes is a misleading stat, but the highest plus-minus on the roster for Virginia is Onyenso. When he's on the floor, that's when they've had their most productive minutes.
He has been, with all due respect to Cameron Boozer, who's not solely a post player, Onyenso has been the most impactful player in the paint here at this event.
No question. I was thinking if they win this game, if he keeps this up, you have to think about him for MVP, as crazy as that might sound, since he's only going to have total maybe 16 points or so for the whole tournament.
After the second free throw goes for Amenya, Duke is back in front by 1, 50-49. Jakari White and the Cavaliers in the front court right. White in the near corner, guarded by Boozer. Tips a pass inside Onyenso. His off-balance layup is just short, but he got Amenya under the basket. And Onyenso, who shoots 68% of the free throw line, will shoot 2. Well, wherever Duke goes in a, air quotes, neutral site venue, there's always going to be more blue than there is of the other team's color. And in that moment, when they defended at the right end of the floor, it was John Shire, their head coach, urging the fans to get up and cheer for the Blue Devils. Onyenso, the first of 2 free throws, is good. Equalizes the score at 50. This has been a game here in Charlotte. Sam Lewis back onto the floor for Virginia in place of Jakari White. So one good three-point shooter for another. Matchup worthy of a title contest tonight. Onyenso, 2 of 2 on the free throws. 51-50 Virginia, 13-18 second half.
Now, by allowing Cameron Boozer to come play the point, it moves Onyenso away from the basket. So they're trying to minimize his shot blocking. They're running cutters across the lane while he's out high.
And they set a screen to get a mismatch. Cross-court pass. Harris for 3. No, off the feed from Cameron Boozer. Caden the rebound. The 6th block shot. Onyenso denies him.
He's really amazing.
He is always ready to go with either hand. 10 on the timer. Boozer to the basket. He's blocked again. Onyenso's a one-man wrecking machine. Virginia up the floor. They've got a numerical advantage. Lewis in the near corner. Sidesteps. Three-pointer. No good. Rebound out of bounds. And it's Duke ball going the other way. The Cavaliers immediately turn to their head coach, Ryan Odom, asking him to challenge the call. But he hasn't looked to his iPad crew behind the bench to see if they'll give him the thumbs up.
Nope. They're saying nope.
Back underway, 51-50, Virginia by 1. 12.5 to go. Ogana Onyenso has blocked 7 shots, helping keep Virginia in the lead. He locks into a defensive stance against Cameron Boozer. Boozer drives with the left. Onyenso flies by, and it's Lewis with a block shot. Here comes Mallory up the floor. Kick it left wing. Thomas a 3. Off the back iron, off the top of the backboard, swatted out. Boozer overhead pass the other way, and the layup good for Karen Harris. Duke with the lead, and the foul as well.
Well, this is, you don't like this, you just don't like college basketball. This is back and forth, some terrific individual playing, some great strategies being put forth by 2 terrific coaches. And these guys are pouring their hearts out.
Foul on Virginia's Malik Thomas. That's his second, team's fourth. Almost 8 minutes into the second half, Duke has been called for 2 fouls. And Ugana Onyenso, their shot blocker extraordinaire, gets a well-deserved breather here, replaced by Johan Grunlo, another 7-footer. So Darren Harris, who had scored just 3 points the last 2 nights, gets on the board with that layup and matches his scoring total with a 3rd point on the free throw. 12:09 second half. It's Duke 53, Virginia 51. ACC tournament title on the line. How could anybody be seated right now? Allen Hall on the right angle, looking inside for Grunlo. The post is fronted by Saar. Up top to Ritter, who's been quiet tonight. He pounds inside, and a blocking foul is called. He had extended his arm. You could understand if the foul went against Virginia's leading scorer, but Hamenya ends up with his 3rd. And we've reached a timeout here in Charlotte. 11:51 to go in regulation. Duke 53, Virginia 51. You're listening to the T. Rowe Price ACC Tournament Championship game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Harry Douglas here. I don't wait for birthdays to celebrate. I grab Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes like rich vanilla birthday cake with buttery funfetti goodness. Seriously, it's unapologetically extra in the best way. And it's sugar-free, so I get all that cake flavor without the guilt. It's tiny, portable, and ready for whenever I need a quick boost. I keep one with me because you never know when you'll need a little party energy. The funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
I like things my way, my coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the VivGuard Hytrulo prefilled syringe, which contains Efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VivGuardMyWay.com. That's VYVGART MyWay.com. And talk to your doctor about VivGuard Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
When your business grows, communication can get messy fast. Calls come in, texts stack up, and suddenly your team is working in different places without the full picture. That's where Quo comes in. Quo gives your business one shared number, so every call and text lives in one place. Your whole team can see the entire history. Everything stays connected, and nothing falls through the cracks. Get started free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN. That's QUO.com/ESPN.
Required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
You're listening to the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Tournament Final on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Top seed is Duke 53, Virginia, the number 2 seed 51, and 11:51 to go in the second half. We now pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the T. Rowe Price ACC Tournament on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Here at Spectrum Center in Uptown Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm Mike Cousins along with Bob Valvano, and we send it to Mike Peasley.
Well, certainly the energy level is rising as we get closer to crowning an ACC champion. It's starting to see the emotion come from players and coaches. John Shire, during that last segment, really was imploring his guys to continue to play hard. Cam Boozer showed a lot of emotion after he knocked down that three-pointer. You're starting to see fatigue come into play for really both of these teams. A lot of guys breathing heavy. And one other thing, guys, one thing that Virginia has improved upon after giving up 26 points in the paint in the first half, Duke had 0 here in the second half.
Well, they're going to give the big fella a rest, which I guess they're going to get him one little breather before the sprint to the finish. But Cam Boozer is out right now.
Virginia with the inbound in the front court right out of the timeout, down by 2. They get it to Sam Lewis. He lobs it to the rim for Grunlo. The 7-footer missed it off his fingertips. Amenya has it for Duke, and the Blue Devils move with great intensity up the floor into the front court left.
That's a missed chance. That was there. Not a very good pass. That was a set play out of the timeout, and they got nothing.
For the time of the game, instead, it's still Duke by 2. Round top of the key to a dribble handoff for Caden Boozer, who has been sensational tonight as his brother has struggled from the floor. Darren Harris contested right wing 3, short. And now it's Virginia back the other way, left to right, trailing by 2. Alan Hall, more of a distributor than a scorer, gives it to Grunlow and gets it back between the rings. Chest pass to the right wing, Malik Thomas. In a crouch with a left-hand dribble, whips it over to Hall, left angle. Midway through the shot clock, Hall pounds it with the right, looks inside, drives to the right elbow, feeds short corner far side. Lewis, shot fakes, goes up and scores. Malik Brown flew by. He waited for his window, and we're tied at 53.
What a difference. No points in Cameron. He's got 12 here and 8 in the second half. He didn't even get that many minutes in the first half because of foul trouble.
He scored 16, 15, and now a dozen in their 3 games here in Charlotte. Duke works through Caden Boozer straight away. Swings it left. Hamenya, deep three-pointer. Splash! Sam Lewis had a hand up and looked down to think, what else could I have done?
He wasn't close enough. He let him get it in rhythm. He's too good a shooter.
Chester Ritter tucks it like a running back, lays it up too strong off the window. Duke with the rebound and a 3-point lead, looking for more. Boozer to Hamenya, right side, free throw line extended. Dribbles in under Ritter, now takes it back outside beyond the arc. And Boozer resets the offense, 15 to shoot, 10 minutes to play in the ACC tournament title game. Malik Brown just right at the top of the key. Over to Boozer, right wing at the free throw line, extended along the sideline. Left-handed dribble to the ACC logo. Ball pops loose. He's in the short corner, fires to beat the buzzer, almost banked it in. Just missed it.
Good defensive possession by the Cavaliers that time.
9:39 second half. Virginia down by a triple. Sam Lewis backing his way into the lane. Finds Dallin Hall at the right angle. Hesitation dribble right, crosses over behind his back left. Into a 3 to tie. It's off the front rim. And a foul on the rebound. He was boxed out by Darren Harris. See who they get here on the call with 9:25 to go in the second half. And important substitutions coming here. Cameron Boozer and Isaiah Evans are back into the game for Duke. And Ogana Onyenso returns for Virginia along with Devin Tillis. Foul is on Duke's Malik Brown, and that's his third. Off the inbound, it's to Tillis straight away. Mallory right side 3. Missed it to tie, and Dallin Hall looking to save it on the baseline, goes out of bounds. Duke will have the ball. Cameron Boozer coming back into the game, ACC Player of the Year, and by a wide margin, front runner for Player of the Year. Just 2 of 10 from the floor in this game and 1 of 7 in the paint. 9 of his 10 shots have been contested, and a few of them blocked by Ogana Onyenso, who's defending him here in the front court left. Onyenso with a new ACC tournament championship game record with 7 blocked shots today. 9 minutes to go. Duke with the ball and a 3-point lead. Boozer against Onyenso. Right short corner. Into the lane. Spins baseline. Blocked again. It's number 8 for Onyenso. It starts a Virginia break left to right. They've got numbers. Lewis with the layup on the run. And it's 56-55. Duke by 1.
You don't appreciate how difficult it is when you get an accomplished, strong individual offensive player for his primary defender to get the block. He's not coming from the weak side. He's the primary defender on Cam Boozer, and he's still getting the block.
And it's Boozer, top of the key, underneath for Sarr. Beat his man, scores the layup. He was just stronger than Dallin Hall that time. 58-55.
That was his I'm in the pocket quarterback passing situation.
Chance Mallory up top for Lewis. He's open. The 3-pointer straight away. It's good. We're tied at 58. And Sam Lewis is having his game of the season tonight.
Oh, they were looking for this. This is what was missing at Cameron Indoor. What a difference when they get perimeter shooting, and what a difference when they get it from Lewis. 3rd 3 of the night.
He's got 17 points, 7 of 10 from the floor, helping Virginia stay in this on a quiet night for their leading scorer, Tester Ritter. 3-pointer doesn't go for Cameron Boozer. Amenia got the rebound, and then he got fouled. Chance Mallory was aggressive going for it for Virginia. The freshman picks up his second, and it brings us to another timeout on the floor. 7:45 to go. Virginia 58, Duke 58 as they play for an ACC tournament title. This is the T. Rowe Price ACC Tournament Championship game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
When your business grows, communication can get messy fast. Calls come in, texts stack up, and suddenly your team is working in different places without the full picture. That's where Quo comes in. Quo gives your business one shared number, so every call and text lives in one place. Your whole team can see the entire history. Everything stays connected, and nothing falls through the cracks. Get started free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN. That's QUO.com/ESPN. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers.
Harry Douglas here. I don't wait for birthdays to celebrate. I grab Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes like rich vanilla birthday cake with buttery funfetti goodness. Seriously, it's unapologetically extra in the best way, and it's sugar-free. So I get all that cake flavor without the guilt. It's tiny, portable, and ready for whenever I need a quick boost. I keep one with me because you never know when you'll need a little party energy. The funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
This is the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Tournament Final on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
7:45 to play to crown an ACC tournament champion. Duke and Virginia are tied at 58 here at Spectrum Center in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina. My cousins, Bob Valvano, Mike Peasley, glad to have you along with us. Our producer, Rob Kelly, our engineer, Bob White. Virginia vying for its 4th ACC tournament title, would be their first since 2018 over North Carolina. And for Duke, would extend their record in the ACC, would be their 24th. Second place all-time is North Carolina with 18.
Well, this is what you, as a neutral third party here in the broadcast booth, this is what you hope for. You want teams to come out and play to their character, have the good players step up and make plays, do themselves proud, and provide an entertaining game for us. And I would say check on all those things. That's what we've gotten tonight.
And the team's respective leading scorers have not been their stars. For Duke, Cameron Boozer, 6 points, 2 of 11 shooting. He's been defended very well by Ogana Onyenso, who's blocked 20 shots over the course of this event, 8 of them today. That's the most by any player in a conference tournament since 2009. And Testa Ritter, not on the floor right now for Virginia, has not been an impactful scorer either, but Sam Lewis certainly has with 17 for the Wahoos. Duke turns it over, a brother-to-brother pass. Cameron to Caden along the near sideline, and Caden couldn't handle it. Virginia takes possession.
I said, as the one bugaboo, Duke sometimes has those lapses. That's the 3rd turnover for Cameron Boozer, their 9th in the game.
Virginia base blue jerseys tonight with orange accents, Duke in white with blue names and numbers and a blue stripe down the side. Dallin Hall straight away, crosses over on Cameron Boozer, works his way into the lane, hooks around him into the basket, and it's an offensive foul on Dallin Hall because of that hook left arm.
Decided to drop into the 1950s NBA and just did that hook. And we can see it from all the way up here. Certainly a good official like Ron Gruber is going to see it, and that's a turnover.
And for Hall, that's his 4th personal foul, so he's out of the game.
Yeah, that's even worse because he is absolutely the glue that holds that whole thing together. You're right. They're definitely trying to attack Cam Boozer on the dribble, and so he saw that he had an isolation. He got a little over anxious and then just extended that arm and shoved him out of the way. That was a bad decision by a guy who's made his living by making good decisions.
Now, Virginia had to change something today after losing by 26 to Duke at Cameron Indoor last month. One of the things they've done here today is full court man-to-man pressure on every inbounds pass. Duke has worked through various ways to try and stymie that defense. They've got it into the front court left. Haven't gotten inside the three-point line now with 15 to shoot. Cameron Boozer, left wing. Isaiah Evans, quick shoot 3, no. And it's all Virginia on the rebound. Onyenso, the leaping 7-footer, brings it in.
That was another good defensive possession by the Cavaliers. That was a tough shot Evans tried to take.
Mallory spins the left elbow against Boozer and gets fouled. That's the mismatch they're seeking to exploit. They do it again. Unconventional with a 5'10 guard against a 6'9 forward, but it works out for the Cavaliers, and they'll have a chance to take the lead here.
Yeah, that's definitely been part of their game plan. As soon as they see they've got isolation on the big fella, they just put it to the deck and go. That's not really a particularly good foul by Cam Boozer's looking at his coach like, well, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Because he's got such a size advantage. He doesn't really have to get that close to him to block the shot or to deter it.
Mallory good on the first. Virginia 59, Duke 58.
Like we said, this little guy he's fearless. He really is.
Grew up in Charlottesville, a Virginia fan. His favorite player was class of 2017, London Parentes. Committed to play for Tony Bennett out of St. Anne's Belfield School in Charlottesville, just a half mile from John Paul Jones Arena. Goes 2 of 2 at the line. Mallory's got 7 points, and Virginia has a 2-point lead, 6:45 to play. Boozer brings the ball up the floor. Cameron Boozer, 6 points, 7 assists tonight, 3 rebounds. He takes it inside. Out for Sarr on the distribution. Missed on the three-pointer. Boozer with the rebound. Shot fake. Layup is good on the foul. And he pumps his fist in the air in celebration. He's tied the game at 60 and can put Duke ahead at the line.
That's the first time he got the best of Onyenso, who did a good job defending, but did not come up with the rebound. Boozer outworked him for it, and then he was not in great position when Boozer came up. It was a kind of a deflected rebound that kind of bounced to him. And so Onyenso was not in particularly good position, but he went for the block anyway and picked up the foul.
This could be a critical stretch of the game. Onyenso just picked up his first foul, but he goes to the bench. 6:33 to go, and with the free throw, Duke takes the lead, 61-60. Boozer's up to 9.
The foul had nothing to do with him coming out. They'd sent the two guys to the table to come in before that whole sequence happened. I saw the bench. I don't know if they do it on the clock, but they decided to get their 2 starting front court guys in.
What difference will it make with him out of the game? Malik Thomas dribbles for Virginia in the front court right. To Grunlow outside Mallory. Back inside. 7-footer. Pass to the sideline. Out of bounds. He threw it too strong. Out of the reach for Sam Lewis. Right idea. Wrong way to do it.
They're not getting much out of Grunlow, to be honest with you. And that was his turnover. He's a very good player. But if I'm Ryan Odo, I'm getting the eraser back in there ASAP.
Grunlow limited because of foul trouble. Their center the last 2 games, but just on a performance basis. And Yenso better on the floor for sure. Cameron Boozer in the lane, lowers the right shoulder, puts it up with the right, missed it, tips his own shot, missed it again, but he gets fouled in a crowd of 3 Virginia defenders.
Yeah, he looks like he's been let out for recess with Yenso out of the game.
So he's going back to the free throw line. 2 of his 9 points at the stripe. He is 3 of 14 shooting the ball.
This is one of the best things that they've done is not fouling, because he has made a living at the free throw line. Every game we broadcast for Duke this year, he has been 10, 12 free throws. This will just be his 4th of the night.
First free throw on the way, and it's good. Duke by 2. Let's go to Mike Peasley.
Like Duke coach John Shire said, with Onyenso in the game, we have to drive to pass. That's going to open up the looks. But with him on the bench right now, we just saw Boozer drive to look to score.
That's a great point. That's why I said he looked like he's just been let out of shackles.
And the free throw good as well. 2 of 2, 63-60 Duke. Onyenso sitting in the vomitory to our right on an exercise bike, a dejected look on his face, ready to come back in when his name is called. Virginia dribbles the ball around the perimeter. Mallory, right wing, left wing Lewis. Thought about a 3. Isaiah Evans right on top of him. Takes a ball screen, top of the key, looking to pass. Finds Mallory behind him. 10 on the timer. Thomas on the drive. Against Boozer. Reverse layup. Got it to go. Sarr was a tad too late. He got fouled to boot, and he can tie the game with a free throw.
They are just a completely different team than we saw in Durham a few weeks ago. I just think you think that they just superimpose their faces on a different team, because they are so assertive, making very, very confident moves, getting to the line, different guys, making good reads.
It's been really fun to watch. We're tied as Thomas hits the free throw. He's got 14 points. And, here's Tester Ritter coming back into the game. Ugonna Onyenso back into the game. So all of the best offensive weapons are on the floor right now for the Cavaliers. 63 all between number 1 Duke, number 2 Virginia here for an ACC tournament title. Caden Boozer dribbling, 14 points for him today. Gives it to his brother Cameron, left angle three, and he bricked it. Yenso brings in the Virginia rebound. His 6th rebound to go along with 8 blocks. 5:15 to go, tied at 63. Mallory at the right angle, well beyond the three-point line. With a bouncing dribble, free throw line extended, now into the ACC logo. Outside for Lewis, gets it back, left wing, 3 in the air, short. Amenya grabs the loose change for the Blue Devils. Exactly 5 minutes to go, still tied. And John Shire wants a timeout for Duke. 38-year-old head coach claps his hands as he walks out onto the floor. Confident as ever now with 4:57 left in the game. Virginia and Duke are tied at 63 here in Charlotte. This is the T. Rowe Price ACC Tournament Championship game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the VivGuard Hytrulo prefilled syringe, which contains efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VivGuardMyWay.com. That's VYVGART MyWay.com. And talk to your doctor about VivGuard Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
Which teams are making moves and which teams need to just flat out move? Your Saturday means I'm locked in and ready for First Take right here, Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
NBA Sunday on ESPN Radio. It's our Western Conference Showdown in OKC.
Gilgeous Alexander chucked it at the rim. Somehow it went down.
While the Oklahoma City Thunder own the NBA's best record, the Minnesota Timberwolves are in a 5-team fight for the 3 seed in the West, and they go head-to-head this weekend. The Timberwolves at the Thunder. Coverage begins tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern, with tip-off at 1 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Indeed.
Hey, it's Greg McElroy from the Always College Football Podcast. Check out our current episode where we break down the SEC previews for spring football. Download it anywhere you get your podcast.
This is Freddie and Harry.
Yes, sir. This is Josh from Illinois. I love listening to you guys every day, and I just want to weigh in on all the moves the Chiefs are making. They're making like 5-hour energy and getting things done quickly, baby.
Birthday cake. How much you love that cake, Josh?
I mean, we got the enemy coming back. We got Travis back. We got Kenneth Walker the third. We got all these picks from the Rams. Let's go.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. You're listening to the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Tournament Final on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
With 4:57 left in the second half, Duke and Virginia tied at 63 here in Charlotte at the Spectrum Center, and the ACC Tournament crown on the line. Mike Cousins, Bob Valdano, Mike Peasley along with you. It was a 26-point difference when they met during the regular season, and now this game has not been led by more than 7 points. Duke was up by 7 in the first half. Virginia led by as many as 6. All time, when Duke is the number 1 team, Virginia is 0-17 against the Blue Devils, and trying to change that today in what has been a new era of Virginia basketball. Their highest point total average per game in 25 years this year under Ryan Odom, coaching in a conference title game for the 4th straight year between Virginia, VCU, and Utah State. And his team has looked spectacular today, making all the right adjustments.
Well, that was a dry erase board timeout for John Shire, which was he called it not to go over a general principle or encouragement. He has a specific play he wants to see them run here. Usually it's encompassed Cameron Boozer at the top, and then he goes, there's a lot of, he can throw it to the wing and run hard to the goal itself. He may find Evans trying to come off the screen, but it is going to be starting, as I said, with Boozer at the top. Let's see what they run. 1-4 along the baseline.
He gets a ball screen to his left, and that's a switch. So he's got a mismatch now against Malik Thomas. Quick pass left. Isaiah Evans 3. Got it! And Duke has been nearly perfect out of timeouts today. 66-63 Blue Devils.
The set, they love that That guy comes to the top from the wing, and when he goes off the ball screen, Cam, he finds that shooter, and when it's Evans, he makes the pay.
Evans, 4 3-pointers, 16 points tonight. Virginia looking to answer. They've got 10 seconds to shoot. Malik Thomas deep in the left wing, has a screen, takes a free throw line extended, backing his way in. 4 on the timer, banging shoulders, shot fakes, fades, fires, and hits for 2.
That was a determined shot. That was just individual effort. Duke's defense was pretty darn good.
Blue Devils with a 1-point lead, 66-65, exactly 4 minutes to go. So Cameron Boozer, quiet night offensively, all things considered, 11 points, 3 of 15 shooting. He's been a great distributor. His brother, Caden, in the near corner, back up top for Cameron between the circles. He goes against Onyenso, the shot blocker, lowers his shoulder, gets him in the air, missed it too strong. Virginia the rebound. Cavaliers down 1 as Boozer's now 3 of 15 from the floor.
There's no question. Onyenso impacted that shot, no doubt.
Allen Hall, right angle, with a bounce off to his right. Tester Ritter, who's got 4 points, averages 16. He's in the lane, lost it between his legs, found it, lofts it outside for Lewis. Dangerous 3-point shooter, picks up a ball screen right, guarded Caden Boozer. 3 on the timer, step back, 17-footer for the lead. High bounce, it's tipped up, and there's a foul under the basket. DeRitter walks away, palms to the sky. Nick Kamenya fell down for Duke. So did Darren Harris with 3:10 to go. We've got another timeout on the floor. Duke 66, Virginia 65.
It's going to be on Duke, I think, and they're going to give him 2 shots, which is interesting. Are they over the limit? It should just be 1-1, but I guess I'm not sure they got 2 shots out of that, but we'll sort it all out when we come back from the break. 1-point lead for Duke, 66-65.
Second foul on Darren Harris. The good news is we're not going anywhere. This one's too much of a nail biter to leave in Charlotte. 3:10 to go with Duke in the lead. Let's go to Mike Peasley.
Well, in the Virginia huddle, multiple times, multiple coaches were shouting, rebound to win, rebound to win. Right now, they're down 11 on the boards. They say if we win the rebounding battle here in the final 3.5 minutes, we're going to win this basketball game. The coaches are very pleased with the offensive execution. They told the guards, don't hesitate. When you get a seam, you go attack the basket like you've been doing. Now, when Isaiah Evans hit that 3-pointer for Duke, you just kind of saw the defensive coaches hang their heads because multiple times tonight they have told their team, make him put the ball on the floor. Do not let him be a standstill shooter, which is what he was, that last 3-pointer.
Well-designed play out of the timeout. You're so concerned. That's where Boozer's reputation precedes him. Mike, you described it. He went off the screen. He went to the right. The defense cheats that way a little bit because you got the player of the year on that side. So they run a guy from that side diagonally to the opposite side. When he throws it there, you're too late to get back because Evans doesn't need much time to get the shot off. Also, by the way, to that point about rebounding, I mean, I guess it's kind of a semi-misleading stat because there's so many different ways it could happen, but this encompasses, many of them. Tip-ins or second chances are the single most common way that one-possession games are decided. And we saw one say earlier in the Atlantic 10 with a tip-in shot that St. Louis went down when it looked like they had won the game moments earlier with a 3. So when he's talking like that, that works both ways. You can't let them get a tip in, and if you get a miss, you got a chance to put it back. And the way this is going, this might very well come down to be a one-possession game.
3:10 to go. Duke 66, Virginia 65 in the ACC tournament title game. I'm curious your thoughts on this as well. Cameron Boozer, the ACC Player of the Year, shooting just 3 of 16. He's been guarded, contested on 14 of the 16. However, he's still finding a way to make an impact because his teammates are shooting 8 of 13 when he's passed them the ball and they've stepped into a shot.
Yeah, well, and that's when he's such such an impactful player, even when he's not scoring. But that's the problem. He's got 8 assists in the game, and that's what John Shire's decision has to be. If he has Caleb Foster, I think he's more comfortable moving Cam off the ball and letting Caleb trying to facilitate. But as much as Caden's been very good, he hasn't really been facilitating. He's been creating for himself, going down the lane and scoring. So he keeps Cam at the top, and he's been, as you said, getting his teammates involved, but he's not getting the kind of shots he wants because if he takes it down the lane and just tries to shoot it over on Yin, so you can see him, he's salivating, waiting for him to go up and just try and get a block on it. So it's going to be a tough decision late what he decides to do if he needs a bucket at the end of the ballgame.
Same will be true for Virginia. To turn our focus to the Cavaliers, their leading scorer, Tester Ritter, 16 a game. He has 4. He is 1 of 6 from the floor. So in a crunch time moment, do they call his number, or do they continue to rely on Sam Lewis, who's got 17, and Malik Thomas with 16?
You have to use him the same way Cam does. That you got to respect him. So run him in some sort of a set where you know the defense has to respect him, but you're really looking for maybe a weak side 3 because those guys have been shooting it. I mean, after being invisible in Durham, they've got count them up here. Between Thomas, Mallory, Lewis, and White, they've got 2, 4, 6, 7 3-point field goals. So they have really carried the load from the perimeter. So it was a foul in the act, evidently, on the tip. So they're going to give him 2 free throws.
It's Tester Ritter at the line. The first off the iron, no good. Still a 1-point game. To Ritter, 4 points. You're in this tournament, 15 on Thursday, 16 yesterday. Free throw to tie it. And he does. 66 all, 3:10 to go.
It's his first point in the second half, too, by the way.
The inbounds here. Full court pickup. Chance Mallory, stride for stride with Caden Boozer, who fends him off with the right arm into the front court left. One Boozer to another. Cameron between the rings, started by Onyenso. Ball screen left to get the switch. It's an open Evans for 3 off the pass. 3 doesn't go. Rebound, stuck back in by Caden Boozer.
His first 2 points in the second half. It's the second time he's done that on a perimeter 3, slipping along the baseline and getting a follow shot.
Duke 68, Virginia 66, 2:40 left. Mallory just right at the top of the key. Onyenso set a ball screen. Duke hedges. They work it around the perimeter. DeRitter from the far side corner. Underhand to Hall, left angle. 10 to shoot. Hall gives it to Lewis. Just right of the center. Now back to the left for Hall.
Bad possession.
3 to shoot. Hall's going to have to let it fly. Instead to Lewis. 3 to beat the buzzer. No. A shot clock violation and a lockdown defensive stand for the Blue Devils.
That was a bad sequence all across the board for Virginia. They gave Evans a catch-and-shoot 3. That drove their coach crazy. He just got through telling him rebounding is going to decide the game, and then they gave up an easy defensive stick back. And then on the offensive end, they ran a very bad set and got nothing, literally nothing, didn't even get a shot off.
We get a 30-second timeout called by Virginia. 2:18 to play in the second half. Cavaliers down 2, 68-66. Both teams in the bonus. 8 fouls adjudicated against the Cavaliers, 7 against the Blue Devils. And after this timeout called by UVA, each team has 2 timeouts remaining. It's Duke ball coming up the floor.
It's kind of late now. You kind of half wish, if you're Virginia, that DeRitter had a chance. Remember, they started the game with a kind of pick and pop for him for 3 right from the top. He was way off, but we've seen him. He can make that shot. But now he hasn't taken one in forever. So to run that set again and ask him to do it with the game on the line, that's kind of tough. But that would open things up a little bit if he were a threat to shoot a deep 3 from the top. Right now, he's just going to the post, and they're doing a really good job of swarming him, and he's turned it over. They knocked it loose last time. He had to fumble around for it between his legs. They haven't gotten anything out of throwing it in there.
And in the same way, at the other end of the floor, Duke keeps doing the same thing. Onyenso is guarding Cameron Boozer. The Blue Devils set a ball screen. Virginia is switching, and Duke is exploiting the mismatch. Duke is ready to get it in. Roger Ayers, I believe, is calling for the mop person from under the basket.
They're getting double teamed. One guy coming with a little round thing on the stick, the other guy coming with a towel. So they're going to take care of this.
Well, you don't go to a Duke basketball game and not witness a manager sprinting at some point during the game. You got it right there.
You are a big fan of the manager sprint.
As a former manager myself, I recognize and applaud the hustle. Certainly sounds like Cameron Indoor here in Charlotte right now. Durham West at Spectrum Center as Let's Go Duke rings out. Blue Devils ready to inbound from the far sideline. They've got to go 3-quarter court up the floor. Sarr holds off his left hip and finds Cameron Boozer, top of the key right. Gives it back to his brother Caden to initiate the offense. 2:10 to go. Duke by 2 over Virginia for an ACC title. Cameron Boozer holds it top of the key, guarded Dallin Hall. Looking to the near side left, starts his dribble with 13 on the timer, gives to Evans and gets it back. And we got a foul called on Virginia. Tester Ritter never moved his feet at the top of the key, but that's where the foul goes. And it'll be 1-1 for Duke.
And mistakes you can't make with 2 minutes to go in the game. They actually had a pretty good defensive possession working, and then he just ran across the lane, did Evans. And that they're obviously trying to be very cognizant of him, but you can't just throw him to the floor.
A suboptimal foul choice puts Isaiah Evans at the line where he shoots a team best 89%. Dallin Hall subbed out for Virginia. Sam Lewis returns.
Well, he's got 4 fouls, Hall, and I think I think his teammates were trying to protect him there as they were trying to kind of attack him on the offense for Duke.
Evans hits the front end of the 1-and-1. 69-66. Duke by 3 with 1:59 to go. That was Evans' first free throw of the night. He's got 17. He was a hero 2 nights ago against Florida State. Duke won by a single point. He scored a career-high 32, hitting 7 3-pointers. He's made 4 of them this evening. His second free throw good as well. Duke leads by 4, 70-66. John Shire waving his right hand and his left hand to the floor. Shire, like the old Duke guard he was, slaps the floor, wanting his team to lock in on defense. And it's a timeout, Virginia. That only makes the Duke faithful louder here in Charlotte. 1:51 to go in a 4-point game, and Virginia has 1 timeout left.
I was wondering what he was telling his team as they were lining up for the free throw. This one, he was saying this one. And I was wondering what it was going to be, a surprise defense, like a trap. He was talking about the collective floor slap, all 5 defenders getting in the stance and slapping the floor. Throwback to Coach K's first days at Duke. And John he's talking about that. He loves that. And so he brought it out at a key stretch in the game to signal to his team, this may be the possession that decides the game. It's that close.
70-66, Duke in the lead, 1:51 to go. Each team is in the bonus. The next foul by Virginia will put Duke into the double bonus. Cavaliers with 1 timeout left. The Blue Devils have 2. Latest in from Joe Lenardi, our bracketologist here at ESPN, that win or lose in this game, the seeding in his math would not change for either of these teams in the NCAA tournament. Duke's still a 1, Virginia's still a 4, but you can be sure neither team wants to walk out of here on the losing end of the ledger. Chance Mallory inbounds, front court right for Virginia in the blue and orange uniforms. Fakes a pass right, gives it into DeRitter. A spin into the lane, lobs it with the right, topped by Onyenso. He missed it, got his own miss, and puts it in for 2.
Set play, beautiful job by DeRitter. He caught it, spun. The big fellow was on the weak side block, threw it up, trying to get an alley-oop. He couldn't score it, but he secured it anyway and then put it in. And they cut it to 2. Good execution out of the timeout.
And Virginia solved the screens thrown at them by Duke. Cameron Boozer between the rings. He is in a low crouch, left-handed dribble, 10 on the timer, 3 Virginia assistants waving at the players at the opposite end of the floor. Here goes Boozer into the lane, and he's fouled. He held the ball up high. He was ready to kick it out to Jimenez for a 3 on the right side, and instead he gets 2 free throws out of it.
Now, the problem, I'll tell you, the little subtle things. What they did is they ran the switch so they got Onyenso on Jimenez, who's a terrific 3-point shooter. They had him in the dead-eye spot in the corner, and that was the difficult situation. What was Onyenso to do? If he leaves him, Cameron's just going to find him and throw it to the corner for a 3. So he kind of stayed home on him, and then Cameron went to the basket and drew the contact. They still defended him pretty well, but he was able to get to the line.
That's a crucial miss on the first of the 2 free throws. It keeps it a 2-point game. He is 3 of 16 from the floor, but he has 8 assists. It all has balanced out for Cameron Boozer. Second free throw. He missed the second. 0 for 2. And Virginia can tie or take the lead with 70 seconds to go. Blue Devils 70, Cavaliers 68 here in Charlotte. Malik Thomas into the lane on the dribble. Jump stop, pivots, shoots for the tie. Missed it. It's out of bounds, baseline right. Off of Nick Kamenia for Duke. He wants John Shire to challenge. The head coach turns back to 3 assistants looking at an iPad. Shire leaning over the 3rd chair on the bench at that digital screen as the officials wait to get the inbounds pass. Shire's got to make a decision quickly here with 1 minute to go. And he looks back down the floor, puts his left index finger in the air to say, no challenge. 20 seconds for Virginia. Inbound to DeRitter, high on the left angle. Their leading scorer on the year with just 5 points tonight. So Malik Thomas holds deep left wing. He's got an Onyenso ball screen behind the back, splits two defenders, falls to the ground, but it's a foul on Duke, and it'll be 1-1 at the right side free throw line.
Boy, that was, I promise you, Ryan Odom's heart went into his throat. You try and split a double team with 51 seconds to go in a 2-point game in the middle of the floor.
On a behind-the-back dribble.
That's what Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that was not the wisest play, but wow. You know, players make plays and drew the foul, and he'll go to the strike.
1-1. Virginia down 2. Malik Thomas at the stripe. Here's his first. He missed it. Rebound, Cameron Boozer. He had been 5 of 5 at the line. 45 seconds to decide an ACC champion. Duke with the lead by 2. Cameron Boozer holds the ball in his left palm like he could crush it and gives it to his brother Caden along the near sideline. They're winding the clock. 9 on the timer for the Blue Devils in a one-possession game. Amenya deep on the right wing, and a timeout called by John Shire. He saw there was some indecision with his young team, so he'll draw up a play here with 6 seconds to shoot and a 2-point lead.
This is another Mike Krzyzewski tendency is the word I'm looking for. When he worked for Mike, this is an NBA kind of thing. Most situations like this, he runs something very simple, a little one quick cut, one quick action. He called for one, but they didn't recognize it. That's why he called the timeout. He had called one. He signaled one from the bench. It was elbow, and they didn't see it, and so he had no choice but to call timeout. But this is still dangerous with 6 seconds because they won't run some sort of an intricate play. They'll run a little pick and pop, or as they did last time when they got the 3 for Evans, even though it didn't go in. That's the one where Caden Boozer got their follow shot. It was just a simple dribble ball screen. They threw it to a guy opposite, and when he missed the shot, Boozer had the rebounding lane. So, again, so many of those things. You just heard Virginia's coaches tell them, we got a rebound to win the game. Duke, you got to rebound this miss if you can force a miss, and I'm sure Duke has got a lot of weapons to run a quick hitter here and get a good look with 6 seconds to go.
Can't help but be impressed by Duke. Down 2 starters, both Caleb Foster, their point guard, out indefinitely. Patrick Gungba, their center, who is likely to return for the NCAA tournament. The Blue Devils have been like water. No matter how you trap them, they find a way to continue moving where they want to go. 70-68, Blue Devils up 2 over Virginia. 27.4 seconds to go. 6 seconds to shoot for the Blue Devils out of the timeout. And counterintuitively, despite the fact they've got the lead, they've been the poorer shooting team today. 39% overall to Virginia's 43%.
Dominating on the backboards. The thing to look at here is Sarr, only a 51% free throw shooter. I can't believe they'd even let him get the ball, because if he does, Coach Odom should tell his guys to just wrap him up right away.
Keep an eye on Isaiah Evans, who's the inbounder. He can score in a multitude of ways, most notably from 3. Both Boozers, Hemenia, Sarr on the floor, along with Evans getting it in to Cameron Boozer, right angle. He turns, crossover dribble, drives, shoots. His shot short. He grabs his own miss, and it's 20 seconds to play. Shot clock and game clock are separated by just 2 seconds. The lead is 2 for Duke. And it's a foul called on Sam Lewis of Virginia. He was looking to his head coach, Ryan Odom, unsure of what to do, swiped at the ball, and the fist of Roger Ayers, the official, went in the air.
I'm not sure there was enough time to not foul. There was only 2 seconds difference. That's really taking a chance. You got to get a stop, then you got to go the length of the floor in 2 seconds. If it was tied, you could defend it, but I'm not sure you could do it there. So probably a good decision. Unfortunately, going to send a pretty good free throw shooter to the line here.
Sam Lewis just fouled out of the game.
Sorry, but that's even worse for them because now they loses a tremendous shooter. But what a terrific job by Boozer, who, even though he missed the shot, went back and got it, and then had the presence of mind not to go up again and try and challenge Onyenso. You can get wrapped up in that personal duel kind of thing. He threw it back out, understanding, hey, we can run the clock out here. That's exactly what they did. Spread the floor, drew the foul, and if he makes both of these, the odds are appreciably shorter for the Cavaliers.
It was just 38 seconds of game time ago that Malik Thomas of Virginia, after that behind-the-back dribble, had a 1-and-1 at the other end, could have tied the game, and he missed the front end, and that's allowed it to be a 2-point advantage still for Duke. So Isaiah Evans shooting at the left end. The first free throw is good. Duke 71, Virginia 68.
86. They are so well schooled. What did he do? Threw it out, knowing they probably had a foul. Evans ran to the midcourt, put the ball in his hands. Everybody got out of his way. Said, come on and foul me. And he is paid off on the front end of the one-on-one. The best free throw shooter on the floor, actually, for either team.
Biggest moment of the season for the Blue Devils. Isaiah Evans with Duke up by 3, makes the free throw, and it's a 4-point lead. 12.3 seconds to go. Inbound to Ritter. Here comes Thomas. Virginia needs quick points. Thomas to the basket. He goes up and shoots the layup, gets it to go. There could have been a foul. There was a lot of contact there. 5.8 seconds now.
It really was. I'm surprised they didn't call it, in fact.
72-70, Duke the lead. Hamenya runs the baseline. Into Cameron Boozer. He's trapped. He's fouled with 3.9 to play. Not over yet.
Yeah, but you see, that's the kind of thing you have to coach for some guys. You don't for the Boozers. Carlos Schuster said these kids, they play and they understand how to win. This is going to sound like a little thing, but I promise you, if you coach, you would appreciate it. He got fouled 85 feet from his basket. What guys do sometimes is they walk to the other end like the Bataan Death March. Boozer threw it to the official, jogged right down with a confidence like, okay, let me get on the line. I can put this thing away. And he's got an opportunity to do that.
At the line, he's 4 of 7 today. First free throw. Good. Yep. Duke 73 and Virginia 70. Their only hope for the Cavaliers now is a miss and a heave to send the title game to overtime for the first time in 22 years.
Well, if he misses, they'll call timeout, I would think. They still have no left.
3.9 seconds. The free throw. Good. Duke 74, Virginia 70. John Shires in the front court left, telling his team, please don't foul. Each team one timeout left. Ryan Odom's going to let him go. Virginia gets it in. A pass to midcourt, stolen by Caden Boozer. That'll do it. The Duke Blue Devils are champions of the ACC tournament here in Charlotte by a final score of 74-70 over the Virginia Cavaliers. For the Blue Devils, their 24th ACC tournament title, and for the second straight year, they win both the regular season and the tournament crown.